I mean, dude, it was staying in a mall. And especially when I get there, they had me in a fucking like motel across the street from the mall. So night number one, I'm staying in a shitty hotel in essentially a third world country.
So it's a motel.
Canada is hell.
Ruled by a totalitarian dictator.
Yes, a gay dictator.
For sure.
Canada is a third world country. Nobody wants to admit this.
It's time we talk about
It's
this.
like just it's not America. It's just slightly shittier in almost every way. There's something off.
Yeah.
Everything's partially in French for no reason. There's like 12 French people on the other side of the continent. I'm in fucking Edmonton. There's no need for French.
Yeah.
Cut it out.
That would piss me off.
It bothered me. Everything's slightly shittier. They all have like knockoff versions of what we have. Like their fast food restaurant. You know how there's like a Carl's Jr. and a Hardee's or whatever? Mm-hmm. It's all like that.
Really?
With our shit. It's like instead of Dwayne Reed, it's called fucking... It's like Reed Dwayne. Or like something. It's all that.
Yeah.
Like that.
But then I had to fucking...
We should invade Canada. I've been a proponent of going to war with Canada.
That's not... You sound like General George Washington.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You don't think that we thought about linking up?
I mean, dude, we would just absolutely roll Canada up.
You know who was gay?
Seconds.
You know who was gay?
Who?
The Canadians in the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
Really?
We went up north.
Loyalists.
We went up north to be like, yo, French.
What's good?
French Canada, who England had just taken. We were like, yo, you guys hate England too, right? And they're like, actually, we don't like you guys the most. And they didn't join us.
What?
Yeah. We should punch them in the bellies forever.
We should.
So I go up there. They got me in some butthole motel. I'm fuming.
Yeah.
I got to walk across a fucking hot... Me and the other poor Canadian... You know how much of a loser you have to be poor in Canada?
True. That's a very fair point.
Good
Nobody talks
God.
about that either.
It's just... And they all... Dude, it's just poor whites dressed like Grand Theft Auto characters.
God,
they're dressed like creative players because they don't have any. There's no style. Not that I'm stylish,
sure,
but these are all. They're dressed like they look like the future punks. They're wearing like neon and they have like mohawks.
What?
They don't know how to. There's no. Yeah. They're dressing like in a style that doesn't exist on Earth. It's just Canadian plains people. It's chaos.
What the fuck?
I'm fuming.
And
I
then
get
you're
into
at a
the
mall too.
And then you go into a mall. That's where you live for 4 days with all these crust punk fucking Canadian idiots. And
it's a very sinister energy at a mall too.
It's a very sinister energy.
It's like a casino.
Energy.
It's like slightly less
full casino. It's a full casino. It's there's literally a casino there.
What?
Yeah.
Who gets the casinos there?
Definitely the natives.
First Nations.
First Nations.
First Nations, bud. Yeah, bud. First Nations, eh?
You ever seen the open like NHL games and sometimes that'll be like, Chief whatever.
Yeah.
Like he'll go and on behalf of the First Nations, go Canucks, go. And it's just ugh.
I'd like to see the First Nations rise up and reclaim Canada.
You got to watch out, dude. They don't like the...
What?
They don't like the white trash up there dressed like they're from the future. They hate
the vampire hunters.
Whatever those dudes are. Yes. They dress like, what was that fucking cyberpunk video game? That's Edmonton.
What?
They're cyberpunk.
They got punks up there?
It's all punks.
They have chili punks?
Well, I was just at the mall, so that's where the cyberpunks hang out. It's funny to go to Canada and go to one mall and say the entire country is this mall. But I was talking about, I was like, oh yeah, you guys don't have black people. Half of my materials, all of my materials, American.
Yeah.
Obviously.
True.
The greatest country on earth. Obviously, I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah.
But
they probably were pretty.
I was talking about black people, and then I was like, oh yeah, you guys have literally 0 black people here. And then people would come up and be like, I'll tell you who our black people are. It's the First Nations, bud. I was like, take it easy.
What? Take it easy, you punk.
Yeah,
right there,
cyberpunk.
Cut your hair, you
Do they have that?
Oh.
Aren't they an oil town? Aren't they like Dallas, cold Dallas?
Yeah, the Oilers.
Them and Calgary are
the
like
boys. Yeah,
they're oil people.
The rough and tumble boys hit the rigs.
They
the
got
rough
money.
and tumble boys hit the rigs. They come home and they cause a lot of mischief and trouble. A lot of boys doing mischief over there.
Where? Up in Canada?
Up in Canada.
Up in Canada.
3 months on the rig.
I was awfully mischievous.
Then they got 3 months.
Tell you what, you get me in a hotel room for 3 days, things get pretty dark.
Really?
Oh, I plow through the lotion.
Did you really?
Dio mio,
Dig
Bobby.
through the ditches and plow through the lotions.
They have that little tiny bottle. I mean, you should go down next time and be like, what the hell am I going to...
Oh, yeah. That's 2
one
sessions.
set.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I head down to the lobby and I say, pardon me, I seem to have run out of lotion again.
I seshed out. You ever tell
I
them
ran
I
out of
seshed
the
out?
small towels and lotions.
Also, does my TV bill, where does that go again?
Yeah.
You should start
That
going down
charges
there.
to the club, correct?
That would be a good web series. You going and talking to ladies, just confessing the fact that you just masturbated.
Just masturbating to immigrants.
Like, guys, I just masturbated in the room, and I'm
They
not.
would, dude, the shit they must clean up daily. They'd be like, "Yeah, I know you did. Everybody
True,
does."
yeah.
So I'm in the shitty motel. I got to walk across the street to the mall. The show's fine. I was being a curmudgeon.
Yeah,
Sold out. The Canadians are actually good people.
sure,
Obviously,
sure.
good crowds. And then after the show, I was like, you know what? Let's take it easy. I always make the mistake of getting hammered on Thursday and then having to do a whole weekend hungover. Why don't I take it easy tonight? I go to see Batman by myself in the mall, which is a nice treat. I'm like, all right. Thursday night, the show, the 7:30 or 8 o'clock show is done early enough that I can catch the 10 o'clock B-Man. So I head across the mall to catch the B-Man. Turns out I buy a 4DX ticket.
Oh, no.
I didn't even know they had those. Canadians are so fucking dumb. They need an amusement park while they watch movies. Dude, I sit in this chair. I got in there a little late to the movie. So I didn't get it. I got in there during a dialogue scene. So the 4DX was not activated.
Oh, God.
I didn't know this was the type of movie I was seeing. I'm tired. I was traveling all day. I was pissed.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to enjoy the B-Man. And I'm sitting down, and then all of a sudden the B-Man gets in a fist fight. He gets in a fight, and in the fight scene, dude, this chair turned into a fucking mechanical bull. I'm not kidding, dude. I was literally like,
You're getting tossed around.
smashing my head on the back of the seat, like enough that I was like, God damn it! I was like yelling. I was so angry.
Get him, B-Man.
B-Man was fucking, and then they start spraying water. They spray you in the face with water.
What?
If it's raining? Anytime the B-Man was on a motorcycle, my seat was like turning with him, and there'd be fans blowing in your face.
That sounds fucking awesome.
Dude, anytime there was a gunshot, they had strobe lights on the roof
Jesus.
of the building. I mean, it was, I've never been more upset during a movie.
You should have just got it fully into it. Like, ah!
Dude, I'm not.
B-Man, they're getting us.
I'm not kidding. I was yelling. Anytime I'd be like, God!
Imagine if a guy tried to shoot up that B-Man. That'd be tough. Everybody
would be
moving.
dodging,
He's
dude.
like, hey, what the hell?
Yeah, it'd be impossible.
B-Man!
B-Man, dude.
Oh
We got
my
a situation on our hands.
You completely popped out.
Oh,
What the heck?
I was so angry.
You were,
And then I had to walk back across 10 miles of mall to get back to the motel I was staying in.
Oh.
So the next day I start complaining. I start hooting and hollering to my management.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how am I in the shitty hotel?
Did you bring up the B-Man incident too?
I didn't tell anybody about the B-Man incident because it was an embarrassing thing that happened. Especially you see one guy by himself. Like there was at one point a woman had gone to the bathroom and then was walking back up. And when she was walking back, she was an attractive lady.
Sure.
I spotted her. But I could, I must have looked like a insane person by myself, just sitting there like.
In your B-Man throne?
are we talking a pleasant mist or like full on
No,
soap?
it's a little mist. The mist was actually kind of nice until you realize it's coming from the roof of a movie theater in a mall.
No vent.
So don't spray that shit in my face.
Okay. They didn't soak you.
No.
That's
But
That's Universal Studios treatment.
yeah, it was.
They have that.
I haven't had it since then. When I was a kid, there's like an alien ride at Disney. But I complained to my management. The next day, they switched me hotels.
Yeah, I wish you went. And you're like,
Now
and
they
then I saw the
upgrade.
fucking
And
B-Man.
then B-Man,
I'm getting
40X.
thrown about in my seat, and I got to sleep in this goddamn motel.
I did get thrown about in my seat.
I got tossed.
That's what happened. You stay in Canada long enough, you become a Canadian. I was like, I was trying to watch B-Man. I got thrown around in my seat the whole time. What's the point of that? That's what I said. So they switched me. They moved me to the nice hotel, which is Fantasyland is the name of the hotel.
What?
Where it's themed rooms. Like igloo room, truck room. I was on the truck floor.
That kind of rules.
All right. I was on the big truck floor. Everything. There's stop signs and construction signs everywhere.
What?
That was exciting.
What?
Did
I
you
get in
obey
there.
the signals?
Of course. I just got done watching B-Man. Obviously, I'm listening and following the law. But sometimes you got to break it for the good of the people. All right. So I get in there. The shower doesn't fucking work properly. So I did. Thankfully,
Well, you're in a rig,
for all the
dude.
for
You
all
don't
the
have a shower
couples,
in a rig.
True. Some
For all the
Mexican, you open the
couples.
door, you open the bathroom door, some Mexican dude comes out.
thankfully for all the couples that bring their kids to the wave pool in the mall, that's who this place is for. It's for sex for Canadians in Edmonton to fuck at the mall. There's a jacuzzi in the room.
God, that's hot.
So instead of being able to shower, I took jacuzzis all week.
You bathe.
I literally took baths in the room.
You let the chlorine just wash away your skin.
It was a dark week, dude. And again, this is a place designed for Canadian sex. So the jacuzzi is surrounded by mirrors.
Oh.
I had to take fully, dude. I got to see my body from every angle, including even when I had the jacuzzi working, which was nice and relaxing. And I would finally be like, all right, I can relax. I'd lay back, I'd look straight up and see my full naked body, which, by the way, I'm gigantic. When you see it head to toe, dude, I'm fucking huge. Huge. And with a little nub tiny penis just pointing straight at the ceiling.
You just look forward and you see the reflection of your ass behind you. You're
Dude,
like, Jesus fucking
the whole
Christ.
thing. Yeah, it was so bad.
Just to see your ass and go,
Seeing my flat ass and my fat love handles getting into a tub.
Your lotioned up penis.
And
dude,
my
getting-
well, no, I would actually go in and take a cold shower to get the lotion. You can't bathe
Yeah.
in the semen with the slugs floating.
you didn't want an oil slick on top of the
Yeah,
water.
it'd be a bit of an oil
You
spill.
think, you think about making slugs, making worms in the.
I did
jacuzzi?
make slugs, and then I showered with cold water,
Oh,
and
that'll
then
get
got
them
into the
off.
jacuzzi.
I mean, in the jacuzzi.
Oh, I couldn't masturbate in the jacuzzi. I was literally
It's against
bathing.
Canadian
I was
law.
bathing in the jacuzzi.
That's what
That's
I
article.
was
pure decadence.
shampooing my hair and ducking.
That was the bill
in the
Peterson
water.
fought. Like Article B67 was about. They said Canadians weren't allowed to jack off in jacuzzis. He's like,
That's what he got in trouble
yes,
for.
yeah, that was enlightening values.
that's bloody. The first thing the government does is tell you not to masturbate in the jacuzzis. Yeah.
Dude, fapping in a jacuzzi would be nice.
Very
But-
decadent.
No, it wouldn't.
Eating
Yeah.
chocolate is coming up for the surface and like, crushing a Godiva.
Just little worms
You know, it sounds.
dancing about the.
It
surface
does
of the
sound
water.
like a nice.
Dirt. How was the last time you had dirt dessert?
Not in a long time. Like the dirt with the gummy worms in the
Yeah,
mud.
dude.
Oh my god, it's the
Fuck.
best.
Fuck.
It's the best.
Come up, just fucking trowel dirt.
Oh.
Go back underwater and fucking.
Yeah, that's being an earthworm, dude. You're full fucking. That's Nightcrawler. In the water, that's a big fat slug. And you reach out, grab the mud.
Dude, dirt. That was the fucking
That's tremors.
smash hit.
You're a tremor. You're a tremor, dude.
Was the bed truck themed? Like, or
No,
where did the theme end?
thankfully my floor was the theme, and I didn't have a theme room. I lied to the crowds and embellished my story and told them I was in the igloo room, and I told them this whole story, and then I was whacking off in an igloo every day,
It's pretty
which
funny.
was funny. I should have kept lying, but you know me, I can't.
True.
So the story doesn't end here. I'm gonna finish this. So I've been whacking off in the jacuzzi it's hell.
Yeah.
Shows are good. I get a little drunk after, which is nice. I like staying near the club. That's great.
Yeah.
I like getting drunk. There was a bar across the thing. I got to watch the fucking Oilers Flames hockey game with
Tight.
the Oilers fans. That was fun.
Yeah.
But then I had to the next day, Saturday. I was leaving Sunday. I got to get a COVID test, and I have a cold, or I had a cold. So I was like, dude, if this thing comes up positive, and I have to fucking live in this hotel for 2 weeks, I will. That's where the government might suicide me.
True.
Yeah.
Praise Allah, it came up positive or negative. So on the flight back on Sunday in Edmonton, I got to fly from Edmonton to Toronto, then to New York. So I go to get on the plane, and this lady, Air Canada, shittiest fucking airline possible. I go to get on, and they're like, "We need proof of vaccination. I have this thing, the Canadian or the New York passport thing."
Yeah. Legit.
And on this thing it says this pass expires 8/26/22, which is when I got 8/26/21 is when I got the vaccine.
Sure.
So I show this lady this card, and she goes, we can't use that." And I was like, "Well, you're gonna have to, because this is what I have,
Yeah.
and this is what got me here." And then she was like, "Well, when did you get the vaccine?" And I said 8/26/21. That's why it expires in a year. And she was like, we can't use that.
I'm going back to my own country. Fuck
And I
off.
started laughing. And then she goes, "It's not funny." And I go, "Yeah, it is." I was so mad, dude. I got in a vaccine fight at the airport
Did you really?
with the stewardess. Yeah, she goes, "It's not funny." I go, "Yeah, it is funny. I decide what I think's funny. Do you understand how that works?" Like, I
What did
was
she
so
say?
mad. She spazzed. Me and this lady get in a fight, and she's like, I can't work with you," and sent me to another lady. who immediately worked with me. I was like, oh, by the way, here's a test I'm holding that says negative from yesterday. So who cares about when I got the vaccine?
Yeah.
I don't have COVID.
Yeah.
Here's the test.
And I got the fucking vaccine. Were they trying to say that was you needed like boosties?
No, they were just saying they needed. They're fucking retarded, dude.
You should have called asylum.
These are literally, you know, everybody uses this in attack. Those are literally the people that would have been Nazis. They're like, no, these are the rules. You have to follow them. And it's like, here's a piece of paper that says I don't have COVID.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
And I'm trying to go home.
Yeah. And then when I laughed at the inconvenience she was causing me, she spazzed and she was like, it's not funny. We need to know that. And I was like, yeah, it is funny. Do you understand how funny works?
Oh, it's so funny to be like,
I can decide what's funny to me. That's it. I was so mad, dude. I was so mad.
What did she was like, I can't work with you?
Yeah. She switched me to the other
Did
lady.
you get any last, like, after you knew you were good? Any last
no. I got fucked because I forgot my phone at the desk because I was mad fighting her. So then I went and sat down on the plane and I was like, fuck, I left my phone up there. So I had to walk back up there and be like, oh, I forgot my phone. She was like, yeah, it's right here. It's like, bitch. So she won the war because she got to give me my phone back.
Yeah.
But
can you go like that?
You cannot.
No.
I wish you could.
That's illegal to go.
Yeah.
You fucking bitch. So then I get on the plane. Hey, guys, the story it's not done. This trip sucks.
Just go to a woman, bitch.
I do that on stage all the time. If a girl's not laughing and I see her, I go. It's always her boyfriend that's like, yo.
Dude, that's not going to go anymore.
Hold on. Get on the now. Wait till you hear this last injustice.
Yeah.
Air Canada fucked me again. First off, every announcement Air Canada makes, once in English, once in French.
Oh,
shut up!
Damn it, dude.
Stop with the French.
Yeah, enough.
It's so annoying. They're like, no, you gotta put your seatbelts on. It's like, fuck you guys.
Oh.
Then at the end, this is the last injustice, and I spaz, dude. I've been such a grumpy bitch. They come by with food at the end. Mm-hmm. I'm a hungry guy.
Yeah.
They get to me. They go, we're out. We're out of food. I was like, and then the girl sitting next to me, who was such an angel. She saw me. I was trying to plug in my USB charger. It wasn't working. She saw me like spazzing because my phone was at like 10%. And she was like, do you want to use mine? And I was like, yeah, please. Thank you. And it worked right away. So then she got the food and they're like, oh, we're out of it. And I was like, she saw me go like, oh, of course. And the girl, she was such an angel. She was like, do you want mine? I'm not going to eat it. I don't like it. I was like, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll eat it. You're not going to eat it? And she's like, no, I'm not going to eat it. She hands me the tray. I look at it. It's fucking raw salmon and crackers.
Ew.
Fucking Canada, dude.
Ew.
It's raw salmon and crackers.
Yeah.
Did you knock it on the floor?
I had to eat it. I fucking took it from the lady. So I had to eat the whole thing. I mean, thankfully it was a plate this big of 3 crackers and 5 slices of raw salmon.
They keep that food in the toilet too.
They do keep it on the toilet. And the reason they gave us the food early, fresh out of the toilet, is because the flight was delayed for like an hour and a half on the tarmac.
What?
Yeah. It took me about 9 hours to get home. That was a tough weekend. That was one of the tougher ones lately.
Yeah.
Anyway, figured I'd tell you guys that fun
No, that's
story.
a serious injustice.
You like when I'm having a grumpy time.
Oh man, it makes me laugh.
You like
so
knowing
hard.
I'm up there.
It makes me laugh so hard.
Everything's going wrong.
Just seeing 3 crackers come and stop on you, going.
I wanted those 3 fucking crackers.
That stinks when they don't have your proper snacks. It gets kind of.
And it's also like, dude, I paid for first class. Everything that has sucked everything has sucked on this entire trip.
Yeah.
And now, right at the end, I'm not even allowed to get
crackers and
raw fish.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Oh, I forgot. There was one more note I had from my Canada expedition.
What?
On the way there, I wore a pair of white underpants. Fresh white Nikes. They were white Nikes. Dude, I got off the plane.
You fell in the blue juice?
Bro, they're camouflage.
You fell in the toilet?
No, when I traveled across the globe in these fucking things, farted on the plane the whole way. Just sent hell through that plane. Did a show. Got done the end of the night after Batman, after B-Man.
Oh
These
my
underpants,
God.
these underpants had through my ass, just grinding, shaking on it. Dude, I took my underwear off. It looked like I shit my pants. Dude. It was fucking crazy,
dude.
And it's like, because I remember being a young man, my dad would always wear whiteys, and it would just always be filled with a full dump, dude.
Dude,
Dude, who is wearing white underwear?
dude.
If you're wearing white undies, you are dropping a pile in your pants, and your sweet angel girlfriend has to see them on the floor.
Dude.
And I know I've been doing all the talking, and I just talked for 20 minutes
that's
straight.
very-
My bad. Holy
that's
shit, that
so
was 20
good.
minutes?
Yeah, that's so good.
My bad.
First of all, that's when you're a married dude with white underwear, they're your sergeant stripes.
Dude,
That's how you know you're ranked.
there was like a piss stain on the floor. Dude, it was insane. Everything. There's like blood and shit and
Dude.
piss.
I bought a 3-pack of white Hanes boxer briefs in college.
What an insane move.
Dude, my roommate goes, white boxers, you sure about that? And I was like, yeah, why, dude? Dude, it's like you're like a girl. We have like the same discharge. We have nonstop ass discharge.
Dude, and I also have
I
no
destroyed them.
I have no problem scratching my asshole.
Yeah.
If I'm by myself, I'll just fully in my hand scratch my asshole with my underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You absolutely fill your panties.
Your panties are fucking
Dude.
stuffed to the brim with shit.
White. I mean,
There's
all
no
your
way to
underwear look like
avoid
that.
it.
All your underwear look like that.
That's
Yeah,
right. So the dark underwear also probably
Yeah.
has that caca stain, but
Oh,
we
yeah.
just don't.
absolutely.
We
But
don't
when
see
it's
the stars
white,
and stripes.
white undies
Dude.
is fucking insane. I
I'm
took
like-
those. It was the last straw, dude, of a terrible day. And then I take my underwear off, and I'm like,
God damn it.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? I shit myself. I took a crap today. I spent a full day with crap pants. Oh, and then that
The
was,
B-Man did not help.
the
that,
B-Man
though.
didn't help, and that
A
was
flight to B-Man.
I flew across the world
From a
to see
fly-
B-Man on a
from
fucking
flight to B-Man for DX. You're gonna have a full set of drawers.
I had a full set of drawers, and then I had to sleep in a motel in Edmonton, which was like a cardboard blanket, like one of those like weird. I don't even think they make these blankets anymore. They're
Yeah.
like felt.
Yeah, no, but they're like
It's just
sponge.
absurd.
Like sponge material.
Yeah,
And
the
this is-
sheets weren't even tucked in; they just laid on top of the mattress. God, it was fucking crazy.
And this was your sober night, so you couldn't.
That was
even
my sober
take
night after
sweet
the B-Man.
relief and some sort of.
No,
You're just
You couldn't use any of your particulars.
that's when I was like, I'm done with sobriety.
You should get
And
drunk.
then I told you the next night, and that was an average show. And then the next night I got hammered because I was like, fuck it, I'll get hammered. Normally I don't get hammered for shows.
Yeah.
I got hammered for these shows, and I killed.
Really?
I was up there like the early show I wasn't drunk,
Yeah.
and I did okay. Late show I got hammered, and I crushed. And while I was on stage, I was like, fuck,
Yeah, it's not good.
I'm very good drunk.
Yeah, maybe you're just having so
That's
much
a
fun.
problem.
I think you're exuding fun.
Yeah,
And
You
how
know?
soiled were your panties after you got drunk? Probably not very soiled at all.
probably not.
Look at that. I think we found the cure.
All right, now I'm done. Now I'm done talking. Sorry, I hogged the
No,
mic.
that's dude.
I just had that story locked away. I was ready to get rid of that.
How would you
You need to
end your
process
life in the Edmonton Mall? Not to
Oh,
go back,
I
but if
talked
they give
about
you
it.
the 2 weeks quarantine,
Yeah,
how
good point.
quickly and in what way would you
Okay,
take
this is
your
an
life?
easy one. I thought about killing myself quite a bit in this mall. This is the Mall of America, basically, in Canada.
Mm.
It's the same company. So this mall is gigantic. In the mall, there's a pirate ship and like a huge lake filled with like, they have like sea lion shows.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. And a
Stock?
giant, like real pirate ship. Like the thing's fucking huge. I would get a cinder block and tie it to my, like AJ in The Sopranos, and I would walk the plank. I would walk the plank at the mall during the sea lion show.
Just cover yourself in chum.
Yeah.
Just get all greased up
see if
and
the sea lions
fucking.
come bite me in front of the kids. Yes, I would have walked the plank. I thought about it.
Wow.
I even thought about I would steal something from like Claire's. I'd steal some shitty,
Ooh.
and then so the security guard chased me, and
Yeah.
then he chased me off the plank, so that everyone saw the security guard do it. And they're like, damn, I can't believe Claire's is making dudes walk the plank.
I would go suicide by security guard, mall security guard.
Yeah, see if he can beat you to death.
Just keep going at him, like yelling slurs and shit. Just die. Just get hit
Yeah.
and scream slurs.
See if he can beat you to death.
Come on,
I
buddy,
just-
knock it off.
Yeah. What
just-
type of Canadian slurs would you hit him with?
as all of them. I'm gonna die, so I would just completely.
Poser,
I would unfold the bag and just dump it all out.
Dump all the slurs.
Just so like, yeah, and he attacked security guard, and then he just started screaming slurs. And the security guard beat him to death.
I just visualized like an aquarium and just kids milling about. So you belly pop through.
Yeah, jumping into
screaming
an
at the
aquarium.
glass. Fucking kill me!
Putting a Ziploc bag over your head and holding a cinder block and jumping into an aquarium.
A manatee starts
It's
fucking
such a
you.
good way to die.
Dude,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it'd be funny to just try to kill yourself there once a week. Just be like a really shitty way that you'll definitely live and have them have to rescue you again. Like, Jesus Christ.
There's no way they'd be able to keep you out of the mall. It's a huge mall.
Yeah,
you
you'd be
could keep
right back
jumping into the tank.
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna fucking do it.
Just in your white panties, dude. Just running through the mall and just jumping in the aquarium.
The white panties are fucking crazy.
Dude, the sharks would smell the blood coming
sharks
off
would
those
smell the
panties,
blood.
dude.
Those sea lions.
Yeah.
Sea lions would be.
They'd be
They're like
drawn.
dogs, dude. They'd be right in your cheeks. God.
They'd be right up in there.
But yeah, I do. The bros were out, which was fun.
That's what's up.
Canadian bros are a good set of bros.
Yeah.
When you get a bunch of Canadian bros, like, oh, we're getting fucked up tonight, bud. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yes, that's actually.
That's like the real rednecks in Alberta. Is like the real like
It's a good
hoser,
time.
like, oh yeah, oil boys, fucking
yeah.
right, bud. Like the
Yeah.
real Saskatoon fighting boys.
I could have lived a little
Yeah.
and gone out with the Saskatoon Fighting Boys, but I did have soiled pants. So I wanted to chill. Bro.
Yeah,
You think
that's
they
true.
didn't, dude? Those guys are farmers and oilmen. You
No,
think
they
they're
don't
wearing
understand.
white panties?
They don't understand. Like, boys, hey, boys, I'd like to come out with you, but I soiled my panties.
My pants are full to the brim, boys. They say, oh,
Calm down,
buddy,
bud,
oh.
dude. Fucking have a fucking dart, couple darts in a fucking drink, bud. You'll be right out there. We
It's
all
all-
got soiled panties, bud.
It's also funny when you make fun of, like, if you go someplace and make fun of it, like, hard, the crowd does not like it.
Yeah, they
Like,
don't.
if you go to, like, if you're in Buffalo and you're like, yo, by the way, this place fucking sucks.
Yeah,
Sometimes crowds are like, yeah, but a lot of times they're, like, actually, like, upset.
yeah.
Like, if I was up there, like, Canada sucks, America's the best. It's funny to see you guys try to be us. Like, stuff like that. And they were actually like,
The fuck?
but that was the drunk show, so I was up there like,
Yeah,
you guys think you guys are us? You can't never be us. I was like, damn, this is a good show. That show probably sucked.
I'm crushing. I've unlocked the secret.
Yeah, I'm so good. I was just up there like,
It is funny though when you do make yourself laugh and no one
Yeah.
else is laughing. That's my
the best
favorite
show.
part of stand up.
damn, those Slim Reapers look so
Dude,
good.
come on, man.
The big game, dude. We have the big
Whoa,
basketball game
shit.
tonight.
I'm
Yeah,
going to be
dude.
filming the basketball game. I'm thinking about lobbing up whoever the ref is.
Matt's
I
got
think
the
that could be
KDs
fun.
on.
KDs. I was trying to
He
get
is
the
Tarantula.
KIs. The Irvings, man.
You are the Matt Ranchelo, dude.
I might be Matt Rancho, dude.
I'm big country.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
call big country.
For sure. For sure.
If Big J swats me on camera, I'm gonna kill myself.
It's not gonna, dude. No way.
He could accidentally hit the ball. He's done
Call
that
foul.
once.
Fake foul.
He did that once.
I wouldn't be.
He's
I
going
was-
to call offensive fouls, which is going to be very sad and embarrassing.
We'll
for
have the
him.
tapes the whole time. That'll be a never end. People
I'm
will be
going to
going.
offensively foul. Technically, he's going to be right.
I mean, I feel like what's the thing? If his feet have to be planted though.
No, because I hook with the ball. I like use my elbow to hook people.
Yeah, they'll have Lewis though. Lewis is gonna be
Lewis is going to foul the
fouling like
fuck
fucking
out of us.
crazy.
Yeah.
He might get ejected.
I think Tom might fight someone.
I
I think if it goes the wrong way, I think Tom's taking a swing at someone.
Lewis is going to tackle me. Lewis is going to put me in a chokehold.
Yeah.
He's
For
gonna
sure.
have to display. Yeah.
No, there's going to
Yeah,
be a
it's
little
gonna be very
Anthony Mason
annoying.
style, a little Charles Oakley. I was reading about the '90s Knicks on the way up here, and I wouldn't mind seeing a little brawl.
Well,
Get
I'm
the-
gonna need your help when Lewis undoubtedly tries to put me in one of his gay wrestling moves.
Oh yeah. I'll
Yeah.
get him off.
Yeah.
Well, you have to sucker Dave Smith right before. Get him out of the picture
Dave-
so he can't hold him. You
Dave will
sucker him.
not-
He
Yeah, he
goes
won't
down.
He wouldn't.
Then you come to his aid. Big J will be peacemaker, and that's when Tommy
Big
gets him
J-
with an anaconda squeeze. gets right behind us,
True.
dude. And gives
True.
him squeeze.
I might spit on someone in the crowd. Barkley style.
Dude, I
yeah,
love that.
Kick
Spit
the
on
fucking
me, dude.
camera. Yeah, you're gonna be filming. I'm gonna.
You kick me right in my
Fucker.
fucking satchel, dude.
Yeah.
I got my fucking sheets on, dude. You can
You
kick
got
me
sheets?
wherever.
I'm
Yeah.
I
wearing
thought I
sheets.
saw a little helmet poking through those pants. I was like,
Yeah, I think it is.
He was the one talking about his testicles pointing to the ceiling. dude.
Oh,
Yeah. I don't think that's good at night though when you sleep, because sometimes I think I'm losing blood to my cleaves.
Get it,
'cause
bro.
they're facing right at the. I don't think you're meant to be sleeping with your balls facing the heavens.
Yeah, you get a boner in those things at nighttime. It's a little weird.
That's basically in a jacuzzi.
Yeah.
My testicles floated.
They floated, yeah.
My
Oh,
cleaves were
yeah.
floating, and my penis was like, my cleaves were taking all the shine in the ceiling mirror.
Dude, everything floats. Remember the jumblies floating on in a nice jacuzzi? Everything just sort of wavers on the surface.
Boobs in a jacuzzi are great.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, unless they're your own and you're sitting by yourself.
Then you just got to get the lotion, dude.
True.
Yeah,
The mirror on the ceiling is brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, I
don't get who it's for, dude. I don't
No.
know one person that doesn't look crazy naked.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things I think people heard was like hot sexually. So they're like, oh, a mirror. Yeah. And it's like,
I wouldn't want a girl to see me naked while I was fucking her. Like, she would have
my
reservations.
thing is you're already seeing them naked. You're on top of them.
Yeah, but you're only
naked.
seeing like
What I want to see, like her
some
hair.
parts.
Yeah, I get-
she's
yeah,
not
true.
like seeing my almost no ass and fat side hips, fucking like barely thrusting in there.
Yeah,
You
true.
don't want her to see
That's
that.
a bad profile. Double chin is it's bad news bears.
Yeah, it is tight making love to women and being like, you're so turned on, right?
You're so. I'm
I'm turning
hot.
you on more than any person in the world right now, right?
Yeah.
Anything less than a yes is like,
You're definitely not thinking of what it must be like to fuck someone else, right?
yeah, I'm the best. After you've had sex with me, having sex with anyone else seems like a ridiculous idea you'd never even entertain, right?
That's why half the time I don't get hard, and I fuck women with soft penises.
Why?
Just in case they're thinking about somebody else.
True.
I'm like, yeah, isn't it funny? Thor has a soft penis. That's not me. You're thinking of someone else.
He's so
It's 3D chess right there.
damn Daniel Radcliffe coming in with that soft
Harry
fucking
Potter
boner.
with a fucking semi, huh? That sucks.
Was he drinking all night?
Yeah, what a loser.
Fucking must be gay.
Was he drink? What do you have? 30 beers? What
That'd be
an
a sick
idiot.
move. That'd be a sick move to role play off the bat and be like, I'm Tom
I'm
Hardy.
somebody else.
I'm Tom Hardy. And like, you can be you. I'm Tom Hardy.
I'm Tom. Not
Call
that
me Tom.
Hardy.
the whole- I'm not Tom Hardy. Tom not Hardy. That'd be a sick porn name.
Yeah,
Tom not Hardy.
Tom. Almost never Hardy.
Oh,
Coming right at you. All right,
Oh my God.
Sorry, I've been chatting a lot this episode.
It's great. It's fantastic.
Quiet
Sorry.
guy.
It's fantastic.
you got a lot on your mind. You got a lot of gripes.
No, I'm excited about this big basketball
Oh,
match.
I'm
It
not
is
kidding.
nerve-wracking to play basketball on camera. That
yeah,
blows.
I'm not even going to think about it.
I'm gonna try not to, but
Yeah.
it's
You
gonna
wanna
be
know
it's
the
gonna
secret?
affect my shot.
I'm going for the W, man. That's all I care.
Yeah,
Just
we
a
do, I mean, we
W, bro.
absolutely need to win. We cannot lose.
I got a lot working against me, dude. 6 a.m. wake up.
Oh yeah, we gotta hurry this up.
I think I pulled my rib on that last podcast somehow due to my posture.
You can get a nap.
Get a little nap, dude. A lot of people talking about W. Smith, dude. A lot of people talking about the Wiki Wild one. The Wiki Wild. A lot of people wanted to know.
Oh yeah,
what was
holy
up,
shit!
dude.
I mean, that's the biggest news. You were fast asleep when it happened.
Fast asleep.
I texted you. I said,
I
"Your
know.
boy just fucking. Your boy
Yeah, I got
just
the test.
spazzed, bro.
I didn't know who it was. I was like, who? And then Gardini sent me the clip, and I went,
Your boy spazzed.
dude. It's unfortunate.
Yeah,
He's
here's-
tortured.
I'm doing all the talking. Here's my
Please,
favorite
please,
part.
go on.
Here's my favorite part is looking at Philly comics. Be like, yeah, that's just the Philly in him, bro. He's Philly. It's like, dude, he slapped a guy and then cried. That's pussy shit.
That's street. That's the streets, bro.
That's the streets.
That's the streets,
Yeah,
bro.
you slap someone and they go like, God made me protect people.
Yeah. That's how it always goes down. You're like, yo, this is my block.
Oh, I feel bad. They gave me a trophy though.
Yeah, dude. I had a theory that I can't back it up because the angle breaks away. Because he did laugh initially. Obviously,
Yeah.
everyone knows that. He laughed, he chuckled. And everyone could say that's one of those like, aha, have to laughs. But like, okay, whatever. The camera goes away from him, or goes to Jada. She's pissed. And then it goes away from him, goes to Chris Rock. And he goes, that's nothing. I could have went. He's like, that was a nice one.
Yeah,
I
he doesn't
think-
say. No, he doesn't say I could do more.
Oh, he goes,
that was no. Come on, that was a nice one.
But I think that kind of alluded to Will, like, I could go way worse than that. Because I don't know if he was already walking before he said that.
I think the reason he must have said, "Oh, come on, that was a nice one," is because that was when Will must have
Got up.
started to get angry. He must have seen Will was laughing, looked to Jada, saw that she was upset, and then I think that's when Chris Rock must have been like, "Come on."
Yeah.
Like that wasn't.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think that triggered Millennium into being like, "Don't you even dare bring up the stuff that's not like." I think that was kind of like, "Oh
Perhaps.
yeah, yes, that's got to be on his mind." He's getting roasted.
Rock definitely alluded to it after.
What'd he say?
After he got slapped, he was like, "Oh, I could."
Did he say
There's
that?
one part where Chris Rock clearly is like, "Oh, what I should do to you right now, but I'm not going to do it."
He smiles. Yeah.
Yeah.
He does. He stops. He takes a
Because
breath.
it was an easy line. Because he was like, keep my wife's name
Oh,
out of my mouth.
God.
Why don't you keep your wife's pussy out of everybody else's mouth?
I mean-
Anyway, welcome to the Oscars.
Yeah, he really did. He was just kind of like, all right. The whole room got fucking awkward as fuck. But dude, that lady's been torturing him, man. Continues to torture him. Did you? And dude,
I mean, although as much as she's tortured him, this one's on him.
of course. I mean, totally, 100%, dude. But like, dude, in that book, he throws her a birthday party. This is where the open relationship comes. He threw her, I think, a 40th birthday party in like Aspen, rented out a hotel, had like 40 people come. It was like Friday night was like a 40-person party. The next night was like 60 people.
Was
Then
it Aspen or Park City?
I don't know. It was
Never
it was
mind.
some like
'Cause
ski
when I was in
place.
Park City, somebody told me Will Smith had a house there. I
Really?
thought it was there.
Oh, that's where he went and reflected after he. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where he went and did his 14-day silent place.
I
Park.
bet they had jacuzzis there.
I think he probably had a jacuzzi. But dude, he threw a weekend long party where it culminated in him unveiling a documentary he did on her family. He got like audio footage somehow of her great grandmother who had just died, and like had all her other family, people she didn't even know, basically like recreating the past of this lady who just died or whatever. And she just like left it and was like, "That sucked. Don't it? This shit sucks. I hate this. Why the fuck would you do this? This is more for you. This has nothing to do with me. Like this, I hate this." And then the next day he had other event, like her favorite artist was going to come and he was going to have her like meet her favorite artist. And she was like, "I don't care what it is. Fucking cancel it. Tell everyone to go the fuck home. I don't want to do this." And that's when he went, "I'm done making you happy." So they became in an open relationship after that. And then she fugged August Alsina. And then had him on her podcast and then was like, "Yeah, you know, I just think we got to clear the air on this. Like, obviously, like we did open things up, but like August, like he was sick and I healed him with my body and he healed me in return. And I just haven't felt that good in so long." And the dude's just sitting there like she's the demon, bro. She demonized him. And he's no saint. He's done some weird stuff. You know, we're all fucking, none of us are saints.
Yeah.
But dude, it's like, he could have been like, "Bro, like, oh, it's all good." If she had a little bit of a sense of humor, she could have just been like, "Fuck you, dude."
Yeah. She shaves her head.
Yeah. Zalpecia.
It was a G.I. Jane joke. That's the best part.
Bro.
He's like, it was a G.I. Jane joke. What are you doing?
I know,
Yeah.
dude. Dude, I'm telling you, we're not done. Will's making the big comeback.
He's probably pumped right now, right?
He got Best Actor.
Everyone's talking about him. That's his dream, right? He wants to be talked about all the time.
Well, I don't know, because the one part in the book, he goes to get backstage like at some dude he used to know from the music realm, and his music fell off, and that guy's was taken off, and he went to go VIP, and the guy was like, "Hey, sorry, man, you can't come back." And that's when he was like, "That'll never fucking happen again to me."
Yeah.
So
You're a bit of a Millennium scholar.
Huh?
You're a
Yeah,
Millennium scholar.
You read the
I read the
biography.
book, dude. I read the book.
And then so many other people have been talking, and yet they've probably been waiting for you.
They have no
to
idea the
weigh in.
preeminent
Dude.
Will Smith scholar is
He's
here.
not done. He's doing two parts.
The
One
Slim
part
Reaper himself, Matt
Slim-
McCusker.
tarantula.
The Matt Ranchlo, dude.
Dude, I'm telling you, everyone laughs. He has become a laughing stock, but it's like the most interesting thing to follow because he's trying to do a spiritual journey. Simultaneously, he's like, let me get those Oscars too. And it's a terrible
It's
mix.
a guy
bro.
who's been famous forever and he's out of his fucking mind.
Yeah, dude.
This is what fame does to people.
when he became a laughing dude. He became a laughing stock, and then he went and did ayahuasca like 14 times.
Yeah.
In the interim.
Now he's spazzing out.
Bro, it's the man's. Apparently, he did a fantastic job in that movie, though.
In King Richard?
Yeah,
I saw it. It
he
was
did
great.
awesome.
He did do great.
I'm just happy now.
He
Dude,
was really good in that movie.
Kanye's got to be pumped now.
Oh,
Taking
it's
the
open
crazy
season,
black guy
dude.
heat off of Will. Oh, Kanye's probably like, I can breathe.
Yeah.
I
Finally.
can breathe.
Finally.
Maybe Julia Fox is Millennium's next lover.
That would be nice. Julia Fox is writing a book.
The mic doesn't work. I'm sorry.
All right.
Come
so
over
don't
here,
talk.
sit on my lap.
Matt,
Come sit next to me.
when you saw the footage of that,
Yeah.
what did you think? Because
I
you're
don't
a
know.
Will Smith guy, and that was
Wow.
pretty
Wasn't
fucking...
surprised.
That was lame, dude. That makes
What,
Will
when he
Smith
did
look
that?
like a dork.
I'm interested in Will Smith, and yeah, it's I wouldn't say I'm rooting for him. I genuinely am, but yeah,
I will say, though,
it's-
if Kanye had done that, I would have been like, nice. Kanye rules.
that's a fair point.
You know?
I never even thought about how
It's
I
like
think
Will
about that.
Smith did it, so it's like, this is kind of, especially over like, keep my name's wife out of your, my wife's name out of your
Yeah.
mouth, man. It's like, shut up,
Yeah, I mean, it was
Yeah.
definitely.
dork.
It's when it's like I said before, if like let your girlfriend make every decision for you and see what happens. But there's a lot of girls, their life would be ruined. But there's a lot of there's a lot of girls who are like now coming out and like, this is what a man should do.
Oh yeah,
So now us comedians, dude, we're under fire. That's the article I pulled up.
Yeah.
Was about basically like they're saying comedy clubs now are worried that there's dudes that just like see stuff and like, I guess that's what I'll do now. So like,
Yeah.
dude, there's gonna be dudes like coming at you now.
I'm gonna front kick, dude.
I mean, I'm ready to go.
I'm gonna front kick
Yeah.
from the
Fully
stage. Dude,
fucking
it's
ready to
dead.
go.
You'd be dead.
You're gonna have to do the first like 5 minutes of your set. It's gonna have to be a martial arts expo. Just be like, in case any of you guys are wondering, defending your lady's
Oh
honor.
yeah. If any of you saw Will Smith and got any ideas, I've
Or
been
you
playing.
could just open carry on stage and just flash a little nickel.
True.
True.
That'd be pretty cool.
It, bro. Just say,
Lift
hey,
the- lift
I
the
will
shirt up.
open fire on the entire crowd. if
Come
one of
get you
actually
some.
Find out.
Yeah, it was a good slap. That was one thing. The form was
Perfect
fantastic.
form. He like left his feet.
People forget, dude. He fucking trained for Ali. He's like a trained boxer now. So
Yeah.
that form was crazy.
And he's big, dude.
He's huge, dude.
How tall is Big Willie?
I think he's 6'2",
He's a
maybe.
unit, dude.
6'2".
30 years of action movies. Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
dude.
you, I told you I watched I Am Legend recently, and there's one scene where he's doing like pull-ups.
Yeah.
Ooh,
He's got a lot of
what a
nerd.
sex pot.
He's a classic like self-made jacked nerd, dude. That's a scary energy.
6'2".
Yeah, dude. He has like nerd muscles.
Mm.
It's like
Damn.
you're a dork, you're
Uncle
a loser.
Phil
you
was
get-
6'5".
What?
Holy shit.
That's pretty nuts.
Carlton was 5'6", dude.
Beast.
Denzel's 6'1".
Yeah.
Denzel's the fucking man.
How about
dude.
Denzel, dude?
Denzel rules.
At your highest, that's when the devil comes for you.
Denzel rules.
Too true.
They showed all the candidates for best actor,
Mm.
and they showed Denzel in what's he in Macbeth.
Yeah, I think so.
It looked good.
I bet.
It was him going hard on Shakespearean shit. It was like, damn, this is pretty. That looks fun.
Fuck.
I'd like to take a look at Denzel going wild on Shakespeare.
I'd like to see that.
I bet it's terrible,
Macbeth. It's probably fucking.
but it's cool. It's probably cool to watch him be a thespian.
Yeah, it's probably
Got
awesome.
lost in the spirit of Thespos.
That would be nice. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, it'll still. He's not done yet, man.
Well, no.
He's gonna.
When you're that crazy, he's gonna make something actually good.
Yeah.
Like he just did. King Richard was good.
The Bel Air show's gonna flop.
Bel Air show's gonna be terrible.
The Fresh
but-
Prince show's gonna flop. That's on like Peacock Network.
Yeah, it'll be terrible.
That'll flop. But now he is. I mean, he set the bar now. Now that's what we got to do for our women, dude. If anyone dares disrespect my wife in the slightest bit,
Dude, if I took my
gotta go.
my girlfriend to a show and the comedian blasted her, I'd be like, "That's what you get." For
He
looking
did that at
That's
first.
what you get for looking like that, you stupid bitch.
He did that at first. He laughed. He fucking
Yeah,
laughed.
he
Yeah.
thought it was funny.
I mean, even if it was kind of like it wasn't even like a
No,
okay. He
it's
was like,
even-
ha,
he was dying.
yeah,
He was like, I mean, he's crazy. He's crazy. do you
yeah.
think?
I'm just thinking about like what his squad was at that table. Like, and Chris Rock didn't have a squad, but you know, like if it's like a BET Awards, Biggie Tupac thing, like
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
is it Lupita Nyong'o and you know Jay? Like, what is his crew? Or, you know, because it's really,
Rock- you
or
think
is
Chris
J
Rock has
Law going to
security?
get in there? Is Jennifer Lawrence going to come flying across? You know,
yeah.
that would be fun.
That would be
Yeah.
fun.
Wow, wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, that'd
That's
be fun.
my
Yeah, what a
two
bunch
cents.
of cowards, dude! I can't believe no one else
Take
like
it.
stood up
You're
and
doing
stopped
fine.
him. I can't believe no one stood up and stopped him. What a bunch of cowards,
Dude, everyone
In the
was
academy,
the
Yeah,
academy.
that
Nobody
was
did nobody did a single thing.
I think
dude.
Bradley Cooper rubbed his shoulders, is what Chris said.
I
Really?
saw that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the
How
Coop
about
man.
fucking John Travolta up on the stage?
He's a
Notorious
whack job.
bird grabber.
He's a whack job.
Notorious bird grabber. How the fuck did he get back on the
He's
stage?
grabbing birds.
He got busted grabbing male masseuses.
Dude, I just watched a movie with John Travolta that was like the craziest movie I've ever seen.
Bro, he got like full
Saturday
on
Night
rolled
Fever.
up for grabbing birds and like nothing changed. I don't want to, you know.
The good church made clear of it, dude. Once you're indebted to the good to Xenu, That shit's gonna get cleared.
Dude, there's a movie called
That's their guy, Xena Warrior Princess.
Yeah, I think maybe that's what it
You
was.
go up the ladder.
That's a sick move though. Grab
Yeah.
birds and just claim asylum in Scientology. Be like, I didn't know the ways. I'm sorry.
Dude, there's a movie called The Fanatic, directed by Fred Durst, starring John Travolta. And he plays a retarded guy that's a giant fan of some guy.
Didn't they already make this movie?
Yeah, look at him.
What?
He plays a retarded guy.
I believe that was The Fan you're thinking
Yeah, The
of?
Yeah,
Fan.
they made The
that
Fan.
with Patton Oswalt and the
Yeah,
New York
yeah.
Giants.
That was pretty good.
That was
Football
good.
Giants.
Then-
It might have been a little different than this.
And De Niro had a movie
Vehicle.
where he was a
And
super
that was
fan
called The Fan
Yeah.
on the beach.
or The Fanatic.
Yeah.
Who was Jada's favorite artist that he brought to the birthday and she just said send him home?
I
Was
forget. It was
It
some
might have
like
been Durst.
I wasn't Durst. It wasn't
Look at
Fred
Durst and Travolta.
Can you
That's
imagine?
the squad.
Damn, dude.
Fuck yeah.
It's a good squad.
Wow, Durst.
Durst is kind of the man.
Well,
sickly.
as one of
Geezed
the
up, dude.
I
Durst
would
rules.
I would say as one of the foremost proponents of the male Me Too movement, I don't want John Travolta around the Academy. That was a stain on the Academy. That's
I
what
agree.
I was. To be fair, everyone wants to know what I think about Will Smith. I'm more worried about the Academy right now.
Yeah.
That was shameful behavior for the Academy. I mean, I'm glad he apologized,
Yeah.
but it's like I need to see these actors held to a higher standard if they're
Yeah.
going to be.
It is a room full of people that aided and embedded Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
It is a room full of rapists and pedophiles that
Yeah.
have been compromised, most likely.
Yeah,
There's
who's the
countless young
that whole
actors in
place
that
is
room who've
probably-
had their penis squozed by
don't
John Travolta, and yet they have to sit and watch this man talk to them
Yeah,
like
see,
a
and also,
jackass.
has he always
burning.
acted like that?
Yeah, he's
What's-
always been.
how's he
Something
acting
crazy.
now?
He
only
acts like
been
a black dude from the 80s.
Really?
It's some crazy way of like, it's not even actually like that. It's like he's doing an impersonation, obviously.
He kind of looks like Elton John now.
Like a bad guess of what a black dude would sound like. He's like, should we tell him, Samuel, what's in the box this time?
Oh,
It's
he's
like,
doing,
what?
he's doing Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like stuck in Pulp
He
Fiction.
became that guy, and that was
Yeah.
the coolest thing he's done.
that was
that was
yeah.
19.
Did it in the
91.
Capital One. There's a
Yeah.
Capital One commercial where he plays Santa Claus.
Ew.
It was everywhere.
That was probably before he fucking like looked up at Masseuse's shorts and was like, "Wait a second here."
Yeah.
It's probably the best time in his life.
Do you think it was low-ranking guys who he squoze their penises? Or,
Yeah, for sure. It was
or do you-
Masseuse. They were just guys.
Yeah, he'd be getting a massage
It
and
wasn't
giving the old
the Goslings.
honk.
It wasn't Channing Tatum.
No,
Okay, squeezing sort of pauper penis.
pauper. Yeah,
Yes.
the best.
The best
of the
and
best.
the most vicious, really.
the most needy penises. dude.
Yeah.
They
Will,
can't-
be quiet.
Work for that tip.
Yeah.
I can't believe somebody snitched on Travolta, dude.
I mean, dude, if he fucking rang your doorbell,
I wouldn't tell anybody. I would first off, I would tell everybody. I'd be like, "Yo, what the fuck,
fuck
dude?
you
Travolta
grabbing?"
just grabbed my dick. This is crazy."
I think he was propositioning them for sex. So
Yeah,
like blowjobs.
till he got the wrong one, and someone was like, "I'm not a fucking queer."
Yeah, or he got the right one. Someone thought he was gonna be Travolta's boyfriend, and then
Mm.
Travolta's like, "Yeah, relax. How about you take it down? You're kind of obsessed with me." They're like, "All right,
Jeez.
U.S. Weekly, let's go."
How do you not laugh if he puts his hand up your basketball shorts and honks your horn, dude? I mean, just like
I've never not laughed.
I'd immediately laugh and then
Yeah, I
and
honked
then
you last time.
True.
No, but if he went up my shorts, I still think it would be pretty.
It would be
I don't know.
funny.
Do you think he went to the
It's
bleachers?
no laughing matter.
You think he
Matt.
went to the
I-
bleachers and
it's-
told all of his boys about that? He was just like, "I was at Hand and Stone. You should
Yeah.
have seen him.
Yeah.
I grabbed his
Raped a
wiener.
boy, cute as could be.
I honked his horn mercilessly."
Yes, yes, dude, the Slim Reaper. Damn, bro. Are you
Yeah,
excited for the big match?
That's all I'm thinking about right now.
I know it's hard to focus on Will Smith when we get the big match.
Yeah, man. I mean, dude, that's a tortured man. That's a man broken by his desires. That's a man whose desires took him to the top and then fucking threw him down.
No, he's back. He just got Best Actor.
Yeah, but inside he's fucking.
I know, and he still had to
seething,
ruin
bro.
it by slapping a guy and crying.
Yeah, man. I mean, that man's had all the external validation a human being can possibly have, and it's just like, the man's spazzing.
Yeah, he still needs the strength to destroy his wife and get rid of her. He
That's
still needs the strength to cast her aside.
he's a cautionary tale, dude. And I am genuinely rooting for the dude, but it's just what
I'm rooting for Chris Rock now. I mean,
True.
I always liked Chris Rock, but
It's got to suck for Chris Rock.
that
'cause
sucks ass.
to get slapped and have all these people like Will Smith did what men need to do. It's like, what?
Yeah. What
Like,
are you talking about?
It's one thing to be like, I'm indifferent, but to be like, yeah, Chris Rock had that coming to him. It's like,
Dude, there's so many articles out right now that are so funny about like it is white people's fault.
That
like it's so funny.
That's what I think.
give us a goddamn break.
Come on,
Jesus
let us not have one, dude.
That was B on B.
That was beyond B.
That was B on B. Come on.
At the Venus and Serena Williams movie table, I mean, there's almost no whites anywhere near the scene.
True. Just
But-
ball boys.
This is from The Guardian. White outrage about Will Smith's slap is rooted in anti-blackness. It's inequality in plain sight.
What? Okay.
People are like, you shouldn't slap people in public. White
Decorum.
supremacists.
His decorum. All I care about is decorum at the academy.
Yeah, you can't disrespect.
Once
the
you
academy.
breach the decorum at the academy, I'm like,
It's Hollywood's biggest night. I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's
let's have
all I'm
some
saying.
respect.
It's Hollywood's biggest fucking night. Remember they all stood up and applauded? Who was that guy who like Roman Polanski or whatever his name is?
Oh yeah,
Didn't he like beat his wife and like have sex with young girls very allegedly?
yeah.
And the whole place stood up and they were like, "Yay!"
Yeah, he's been on.
Yeah.
He can't come back. He can't come back to the United States
Same
for like
people.
last
Isn't he in
30
France?
years. Switzerland,
Yeah,
not even France. No,
some
like one of
kid
those
fuck country, yeah. Kid fucking country.
Yeah, he's
We don't have any of that here in the United States. Don't forget what you heard on the regular podcast. Yeah,
This is a
Roman.
good one. This is NBC News.
What they got to say?
However you feel about Will Smith's reaction to the Oscars, the Oscar host's joke about Jada Pinkett Smith, it points to a larger issue that black women are made to feel ashamed about their natural hair. Thanks, NBC News.
Gardini,
Gardini, we're
Gard-
just talking about don't make Matt.
don't
Will
you ever say anything about a black
get
woman's
jiggy
hair.
with your fucking face, dude. Slap him. Yes. You look good, dude.
How
You're gonna
can
fuck them
he
up in
slap?
hoops today.
Really?
You look good.
I've been eating so much for 2 days to have,
Have energy.
so much energy. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, we should probably eat food too.
I'm gonna
dude.
munch, dude.
oh
We
full
need to
spaghetti
eat
dinner,
food.
right? Like a marathon
Oh.
run. You guys eat
Oh,
full
yeah.
plates of the spaghetti.
I've been doing it for like 4
1 hour
days.
before the game.
I'm carb loaded. Like, I'm like a week's worth of carb loading.
I would love if we get stuffed on spaghetti, so we threw up spaghetti on the court. You ever see someone throw up spaghetti?
No.
It's the most preposterous. I've seen it twice in my life. Once was 5th grade. I'll never forget it. We had spaghetti for lunch. This kid drank strawberry milk and ate spaghetti.
Oh,
And then when we were standing in the line, the recess line to go back in, he puked in the line. You just throw up full spaghetti. You throw up literally spaghetti. The meal is back. You don't choose. Nobody chews spaghetti. You just swallow all the noodles. So you just throw up the noodles.
it's like a reverse. It just
It's
looks like your
disgusting.
reverses.
And I just remember the pill. It was pink from the strawberry milk, but
What a delicious meal, by the way.
strawberry
Yeah.
milk, and then you
Ooh,
just go in
Spoogats.
the sun and run around. Just the worst spoogats too. It's cafeteria spoogats in the 90s, just with whatever paste that sauce was.
Chef Boyardee.
Water, ketchup.
I wish it was Chef Boyardee.
Dude, how good was Chef Boyardee?
It's so good. SpaghettiOs, sweet.
Find out about the meatballs too. SpaghettiOs and the meatballs. God, my don't.
The other time I saw someone, the other time I saw someone throw up spaghetti, it was funny. Me and my 2 buddies, Nick and Matei, we sat down to. He made spaghetti. One of them made spaghetti,
Nice.
and then we drank there was a handle of Captain's rum. This is in college. We were crazy, so we just started drinking this rum, and we got hammered in the kitchen. And then my buddy was like, "Oh, I have this." He goes, "I have this fucking infection in my belly button, and it keeps filling with pus." And he lifted his shirt up, and his belly button was filled with pus. And Nick just goes, "Oh my god!" And dude, he threw up 10 pounds of noodles. Like he threw up a bowl of pasta onto the floor. Yeah, it
You
was
think that was the
incredible.
long-term plan of like, was he the guy who gave you the Captain
It might have
Morgies
been
and the
Matei.
fucking spagoots,
Dude.
and then like fucking, I'm gonna show them the pussy button, dude.
The pussy button was one of the grossest things. The pussy button and just the way he threw up. He literally went, "Oh my god!"
Oh,
Yeah,
I
onto
know.
like a hardwood floor that had like cracks in it to his basement bedroom. The puke was
Oh.
like noodles were like hanging from the ceiling.
I saw a dude hit a blunt one time, and he was like being all like tough and stoic about it. He was all thugged out in college. He was like, you know, when people like smoke a blunt like this. He's talking, just hit it, and then he just goes. Blah. It's like white puke. Just threw up fucking like milk of magnesium. Blah.
Throwing up is so funny. Throwing up in public is as funny as it gets, dude.
Hitting a blunt and throwing up is
Hitting
so
a blunt and puking. That's what that lady did in Connecticut at my show. She hit a blunt and then came back into my show and just went. Just threw up quietly down her shirt.
Oh.
I thought it was in the pint glass.
No, that was different.
That was another lady.
The last like month, there have been people throwing up into pint glass. People get fucked up at my shows.
That is kind of a
They drink
perfect,
as hard as they can at my shows.
It is kind of a perfect wide mouth actually for throwing up. Now I think about a nice Guinness glass. You just
Put your whole mouth over it.
It's a silencer, dude. It's
It
quiet.
really is until it hits the rim, and then you gotta be like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit!"
as long as your cheeks don't get sucked in on the way back up, because then you can blow out and then you come back up with it.
Yeah, you create a vacuum.
yeah.
And then you have to run out of the comedy club and go throw up more in the bathroom
We still got to start hiring some hitmen to people.
to start ruining people's comedy
Yeah,
shows.
just come in like, fuck you, shut up.
Hey, shut the fuck up!
This sucks. Worst comedy show I ever been to. Fuck this.
Yeah, that's always the worst.
God, that'd be so funny.
I can't do that because I can't open that can of worms.
I know.
I can't have that happen to me. I would.
That'd be pretty funny.
It would ruin it.
It'd be so funny.
Everybody would spaz. The whole room would spaz.
True.
If someone was like, "Hey, you suck," everyone in there would be like, "Boo! Get the fuck out, then, pussy!" It would be fucking crazy.
It'd be funny to do it to yourself.
Multiple counts, and they were held at $100,000 bond. I think it might have even been higher. And then two of the kids, according to the Tallahassee police report that I got, two of the kids have been sexually abused. And then the U.S. Customs got involved with it because there was child pornography. And they got a search warrant for the warehouse where the finders lived, and they found child pornography.
The warehouse is in like D.C., right?
Yes, in Washington, D.C. And they found all kinds of really unsavory things. And actually, the finders had been connected to a murder, too. And all of a sudden, the CIA came in and quashed the entire case. And those two finders were just let out of jail. And those kids were repatriated with the cult. And I thought to myself, I kind of thought I knew how the world worked. But after I read that document, it just blew my mind. I mean, what have I missed as far as my understanding of the world? How is this even possible that the CIA goes to bat for some very strange people that are treating children nefariously? I mean, how does that happen? So that started my odyssey. That was in 2002, and I've been on this odyssey for the last 20 years.
Wow.
Damn. So what did the editor say when you're like, I got something, when you came back with that? Rather than like run of the mill.
He said, Nick, let's just try to stick with Satanism.
What do you think when you like how many Satanists have you talked to, and like what's their like life philosophy? Isn't it just pretty much like selfishness, or like?
Well, I mean, there's different types of
Because
Satanists.
if that's the case, I might be a Satanist. I'm pretty selfish with my lifestyle.
dude. You're not talking enough.
There's different types of Satanists, and they run the gamut. Some of them, it was very strange. Some of the Satanists that I talked to were really, really stupid, and some of them were really, really smart.
Yeah.
I didn't find any Satanists in between, but I was going to go to one of the black masses. It was a simple plan. I'm going to go to this black mass, and I'm going to write an article about it. And one of the high priest said I had to read this book written by one of the Satanists, the founder of that particular satanic sect. And I read the book, and I said, well, I read the book. And he said, well, you got to do this. And then I just, he was trying to lead me down this primrose path to embracing Beelzebub, and I realized that they were actually proselytizing to me, and it wasn't really like a religion that I felt attracted to.
Sure.
Didn't you have to like eat like wasn't the part?
Eat like a cum cookie?
He was trying to get you to eat like
yes.
cum.
Well, that was one of the problems.
Was your editor like, come on?
The host was the potentiated administration, and semen of the high priestess and then the priest.
On what? What
And
was the
on a floury wafer? With the Satanists, everything is anti, like it's an anti-host,
Sure.
you know.
Yeah.
So and it's an anti-black mass, whatever. But well, that was the deal. If I read the book, I wouldn't have to take the anti-host.
right?
And
Oh,
so-
really? That was
so-
like if you don't read the
Yeah,
Oh, that makes
well,
sense.
you read the book and you won't have to, but then I read the book
I'd
and I
rather
said, I
just
read the
eat cum
book.
real
And I said,
quick.
no, you still have to take the anti-host. So,
Oh, what the fuck?
so I'm really up to, I like people to live up to their word. That's important to me. And it
Fucking
was
Satanists.
kind of apparent to me that the people in the darker fraternity
So,
didn't share his truth the way that I did.
but and you were at an ashram, right? When you were younger.
I lived in an ashram when I was 19 years old.
How'd you
ashram?
fall into that? It's like it's not necessarily Hindu, but it's
This
like
was a Hindu. This was
Okay.
a Swami. He was
Okay.
he was from India. He was
Swami.
He was a genuine Indian guru.
The
Raiders. When I was in my teens, I was really searching,
Mhm.
and I tried all kinds of spiritual paths. And then I ended up living on this ashram with a genuine Indian guru. He was a Swami, which means he was celibate. And so I got there, and I was thirsty for knowledge. And then I was talking to the Swami one day, and I could have swore I smelled cigarettes on his breath. And I went to one of the people on the ashram, who I would later call the pod people. I said, I could have sworn I smelled cigarettes on Swami's breath. And he goes, yeah, well, see, the deal with that is he has to have one vice that keeps him tethered to this plane of reality so he can teach us. And now, needless to say, that didn't make a lot of sense to me. And then I found out that he was having sex with all these girls on the ashram. And then I found out he was embezzling money from his more affluent initiates. And I was thinking to myself, that guy must be really spiritually developed. if he's got to do all that just to stay on this plane of reality. I
think that's why I sold weed for so long.
Yeah, that was a bit of a Swami.
No. Yeah, I always find that intriguing when people end up on because they seem like a cool place to live. It's just a place you would go rather than like a Christian youth thing. It would just be like
I'm fairly certain every single one of those is that.
What do you think?
I don't know if I've heard of one story.
You'll
about
be smirching all the masters.
I've never heard of one guru that wasn't definitely banging a bunch of the people.
Yes, that's what I concluded. Because I looked into a lot of different gurus after that, and they all have lower chakra problems.
Really?
Every guru has lower chakra. They're old, ugly Indian men, and then they're
trying to get Bob's and Vagine, and they found the best way to get Bob's.
That's true.
And then they come here, and they have all these beautiful young American women who are spiritually starved, throwing themselves at these, and then it's too much temptation.
Yeah, how could they resist? How could they resist?
Yeah, it's like I found a book.
Chakra.
I found a book in a used bookstore one time. They write really good books though. Like I read, this was by a priest, and it was like one of the best little books on spirituality I ever read. And I'm like, I got to Google this guy, pedophile. I was like, motherfucker.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Well, I read Rama's books, and I was really fascinated by them. And so, that's why I ended up at that ashram.
So, what do you want to get into first here? Because I read the beginning of I read about half of the Franklin scandal. And like I said, I was falling asleep. I listen to audiobooks at night. So I was listening to the Franklin scandal at night, and it was fucking me up. Like every night I was like, Jesus Christ. And then I would start, I never went to sleep. I would just start Googling things like the Finders. Immediately I started Googling that. And then I started going into like Pizzagate because it was in DC and they were attracting this. Like, and then I was like, is Pizzagate real? Like, it just every time I started reading, is Pizzagate real?
I have no idea on that one. I'm agnostic towards pizza. With my philosophic training, I studied philosophy in college. I try to approach everything agnostically. I really try not to make judgments on something, even though it may seem like a tautological truth. I try to withhold judgment. And with Pizzagate, I'm agnostic.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But with the Finders, it was the same. I mean, I was listening to you talk about it, but it was the same thing where it's like once you explain, like 6 children were found with 2 dudes in suits. Yes. They wearing like suits.
Yeah.
And the children are all malnourished, enough so that just a regular person called the cops when they saw them.
Concerned citizens.
And then they got
Yeah.
Nothing. It was like, yo, this is very weird. And then,
there's no way they were like, no, we're just making sure they're good. We just like to dress nice, and
they
we
were
didn't have the
who are
budget for their
kids?
clothes yet.
And the guys wouldn't talk, right? When they were getting
They had
interrogated.
the card ready,
Yeah.
to be like,
And one guy actually went unconscious when the police started to grill him.
he went into a satanic trance.
he played
I don't know
possum.
if it was satanic, but he just went
What?
unconscious. Yeah,
It's a good way to resist.
it's in the U.S.
I might do that to my wife.
Just dead weight. She starts talking to you. Get a
You
card.
might have to hook your wife up with the finders, which I know might be I don't know if I'd advise that, but you never know.
That is crazy because you do that. There's a lot of people, I'm sure you know this, who are delighted in being like, that's all a bunch of bull. They don't want to hear any of it whatsoever. But that's like, how much of it is like as you say, like some of it's conjecture, some of it is like how much of the stuff you've done is like ends in kind of like some nebulous weird stuff, or like what's like factual anyone could take and be like, this actually happened.
I mean, the Franklin scandal, I was very, very cautious with it and very, very careful. I wanted to nail everything because I knew what I was, the book that I was writing was so antithetical to people's mundane reality that it was going to be met with a lot of skepticism.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what happened with me with the Franklin scandal is I was able to score, like there were 3 grand juries that covered it up. There were 2 grand juries in Nebraska and 1 grand jury in Washington, D.C. Now, I don't know if your viewers are familiar with the grand jury, but grand juries are infamous for covering things up. Actually, like there was a grand jury in Florida looking into Epstein that said that Epstein hadn't molested a single child. What happens in a grand jury is a special prosecutor is chosen, and then grand jurors are just regular people that have come in to do jury duty, and they've been funneled to a grand jury. And it's not adversarial. The special prosecutor picks the evidence that is shown to the grand jurors and calls the witnesses. So special prosecutors have a tremendous amount of power over grand jurors. And actually, there was a New York judge that had a famous quip that grand jurors have so much power, or special prosecutors have so much power over grand jurors that they could get them to indict a ham sandwich. Yeah. So with the Franklin,
I've indicted a few of those.
With the Franklin scandal, those 2 grand juries in Nebraska said that not a single child had been abused.
Yeah,
and
I read the article you sent as far as like, I know this is gross detail, but one of the reasons they were able to discount the children who said they were molested by Epstein was one of them said he used a purple vibrator and another one said he used a white vibrator. So they were like, well, these 2 are lying.
What?
Yeah, I mean,
Like he's just a one vibrator.
something like that.
They only called one of the victims.
Okay.
One of the underage victims. And it was obvious that was a cover-up job.
Yeah.
And it's really a shame that most Americans, because when you think of a grand jury, you think the gods of jurisprudence have spoken, but that's not the case at all. It's just a special prosecutor that's been chosen to show grand jurors what he thinks is compelling evidence.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of cover-ups take place, is in grand juries. And then everything is sealed in a grand jury. And what happened with me is I was able to get everything. I was able to get the sealed testimony, and I was able to get the sealed exhibits from one of the corrupt grand juries in Nebraska, which at that point, I was able to write the book. And like I had a list of 60 victims. So it was up to me to find the victims. And that was tough because a lot of those kids, and you see it with Epstein too, you see it with a lot of pedophile networks, a lot of the kids come from lower socioeconomic backgrounds and dysfunctional families, and that makes them ripe for predators. In this case, with the Franklin scandal, Lawrence King, and also Craig Spence, and with Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, and all the predators that were around him. So finding them was very, very difficult because a lot of them had just dropped off the plan, just dropped off the planet because these kids were from really dysfunctional backgrounds, poor backgrounds, and they were given money and repeatedly molested. And then once they lost their youthful marketability, they were expunged by the network. and they went on to become criminals to support. They were all drug addicts.
Yeah.
Or most of them were drug addicts. So they became criminals, and then they ended up in prison. So it was very difficult to find a lot. A lot of them never really used their Social Security numbers. So, and I found them in projects. I found one in a homeless shelter. I found one in a prison. I mean, they were difficult to
Yeah,
find.
messed up.
Yeah, what are they? How like are they like excited to talk to you, or are they just kind of like, who are you, or like how did you get to like have them actually talk to you about this stuff?
Well, you've got to be patient and you've got to be compassionate. I mean, I was very compassionate to all the victims that I met because of what they've been through, and it's a matter of trust. I mean, you've got to build up trust with them. Sometimes the trust comes immediately, and sometimes it takes a while to build up the trust. But once you build trust with them, they will, tell you about the worst horrors of their life.
So let's get what happened with the Franklin scandal.
Yeah.
So with the Franklin
brief
scandal, it was a large interstate pedophile network that was that flew kids from coast to coast, but a lot of and I also got flight receipts, like 200 flight receipts. A lot of the planes that they rented or chartered went to Washington, D.C. And in Washington, D.C., there was a lobbyist power broker named Craig Spence. And he was a CIA asset, and his house was wired for audiovisual blackmail. I get into his reality pretty heavily in Confessions of a DC Madam, and I also get into it in the Franklin scandal, but a little more in Confessions of a DC Madam.
Well,
So-
Gardini, does his mic have to move up a little bit towards him?
Tiny bit. I just
Yeah, just you can slide this thing down. Let me see.
move it.
The Wild Wild West.
All right.
So these pedophile parties would happen at Craig Spence's mansion in the Kalorama section of Washington, D.C., and it would be like pretty much a straight political party initially. There would be Washington, D.C. literati and glitterati and power brokers and politicians.
Clarence Thomas.
They would attend these parties, but then like maybe at 10 o'clock or something, someone would fire up a joint or something sexually inappropriate would happen. And these people have been plied with alcohol. So if someone wanted to stick around for the after party, then they would be compromised.
So you see like the level of grease a person could handle. Like
Yes.
the girls would come
Oh,
out,
they would get me.
bust out a line. Yeah.
I'd be hammered doing. Yeah, they'd get me.
It's-
Get me.
You don't want to say that.
I'm truthful. I only deal in truth.
so
They would get me, dude.
So didn't it go all the way back to like to the start of the Franklin scandal stuff? It went back to Vietnam, supposedly.
Well,
Or that was like the
King
origin?
and the two primary pimps, Lawrence King and Craig Spence. King during Vietnam, King was in Thailand with a security clearance, a top security clearance, and Craig Spence was in Vietnam as a reporter for ABC. So they were both in Thailand at the same time. I'm surmising that, and this is just my surmise, I'm surmising that both of them were molesting kids in Southeast Asia. And then ultimately the dark corner of intelligence that does this type of stuff got a hold of them and said, you can either do time or you can work for us.
Yeah.
Because when both came back to the United States of America, I mean, they were both from working class families, and all of a sudden their careers just went exponentially high. So I'm thinking that was probably the deal that they made while they were in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it's the Franklin scandal because Larry King was in. He
Lawrence
was doing
E. King
Omaha.
Owned he was the general manager of the Franklin Credit Union.
Yeah.
And it was like his personal ATM. When it's kind of interesting, the feds, you're supposed to be audited every year if you run a credit union, but he hadn't been audited in 4 years. So shortly after George Herbert Walker Bush won the presidency, the Franklin Credit Union was raided by IRS and FBI, and there was $40 million missing. But basically that credit union was a cash machine for Lawrence King, but it was also a front for this interstate pedophile network that they ran together.
And he was definitely pimping.
Absolutely. Both he and Craig Spence were pimping. And
ABC reporter?
yes. Craig Spence was the guy who ended
He was
up
the guy
in
at the house
Washington,
in
D.C.
DC.
Oh, shit.
So,
Yeah, he was the one who was having the parties.
Oh, so that was the guy who was hosting the
yeah,
functions.
I mean, the parties were all over, but
Oh.
but Spence's the intelligence, like I said, the dark
Gotcha.
corner of intelligence that does this type of stuff had installed the cameras, the hidden cameras. And Epstein, now this is kind of interesting. Maria Farmer, who worked for Epstein, said that Epstein showed her the secret room where men, as in plural, were monitoring all these monitors, and that all the bedrooms and all the bathrooms had hidden cameras. So that setup was very much like the setup in Craig Spence's house, where both places were wired for audiovisual play.
Yeah, so Craig Spence was the Epstein of this particular story.
yes.
Yeah,
Oh, I got you. He was the party boy.
he was the
Yeah.
party boy.
Cool guy. He was a cool guy.
He was a cool guy, dude.
He was a cool guy at the operation.
He was
Rockstar.
Craig Spence was the Prince of Darkness.
Yeah,
Was he into Satanism too?
I do not know.
Well, I mean, I guess kind of, yeah.
I do not know, but nothing
he's a good
about
Christian.
that guy was a pure psychopath, so nothing that he would do would surprise me. He was a pedophile, a psychopath, a drug addict.
Jesus.
And he was, I mean, the cream of the crop in Washington, D.C. politics would go to his parties. And
Isn't that strange? Yeah, isn't that kind of weird? The same thing with who was it when Gates had to go to Epstein for like funding or whatever? It's always strange. Like,
well, you know, the thing about Gates and Epstein is there's an article from the Evening Standard, the cover story. There's so many problems with the Epstein cover story, but there's an article from the Evening Standard from the UK that says that Spence or Epstein and Gates were doing business in the 90s, that their relationship went back to the 90s.
Really?
So if that's true, everything that we've been sold about Gates and Epstein is all bullshit, which wouldn't surprise me at all.
makes sense.
Because with Epstein, the media has just been into digging up salacious dirt. They haven't been screaming. The Epstein article that I wrote, which no major magazine would touch, called for justice. All these kids were molested. We need justice. And but that doesn't seem to be a priority. And the Franklin Network was much bigger than Spence's network. The Franklin Network, I think, was around for about 12 years, and Epstein's network was around for about 25 years. But the Franklin Network was bigger, and I thought it was a kinder, gentler pedophile network initially, but then I've come to believe that because the Franklin Network, a lot of those kids were pandered to sadistic pedophiles, and there was a lot of pornography made. Child pornography. And I think the same thing was happening with Epstein.
Oh, you're saying that you thought the Epstein one was quote unquote gentler.
Yes.
Oh,
And,
okay.
but now that I've gotten to know the Epstein network pretty well, Epstein was pandering girls under the age of 10, 2 8-year-olds that I'm aware of. But I'm sure that there were more. And he was also pandering these girls to really sadistic pedophiles. Or some of the clients were very sadistic pedophiles.
Yeah, because didn't his first case get sealed in the same? Was that sealed in a grand jury as well?
Yeah, that was the one in Florida.
Yeah, that was one. Epstein was like,
And
he
Craig-
got in trouble.
I could be wrong here, but it was like it was going to be tried like a regular trial, and then Rick, what's the guy's name? He came in and said, "No, let's make it a grand jury," so it was sealed.
Well, that was
Something like that.
that was Barry Kirshner, the state attorney. What happened there was a 14-year-old girl went to the Palm Beach Police Department with her parents, and she said that she'd been molested by Jeffrey Epstein. And the Palm Beach, and she described Epstein, she described his house, she described his anatomy, and the Palm Beach Police Department started a year-long investigation into Epstein at that point. And what happened after that year investigation is that they felt like he could, well, they had statements from from 5 victims, and then they had 12 corroborating statements.
Yeah.
So they were immediately going to arraign him on 5 counts of child abuse. But then that case got taken away by Barry Kushner in the state of Florida. And then there was a grand jury, which is very strange because usually grand juries in Florida are reserved for capital cases. Mm-hmm. So, and then that grand jury found that Jeffrey Epstein hadn't molested a single child. And only one of, and here's the thing with that. The Palm Beach Police Department had the statements of 5 underage victims, but they were aware of 17 more. So there were 20, the Palm Beach Police Department was aware of 23 underage victims. And that prosecutor only called 1. So it's very obvious to me that that was a cover up.
Jeez. And then the matter was sealed. But didn't he have a sex offense under his belt after that or something?
Well, here's what happened. So when that grand jury came back and said that Jeffrey Epstein hadn't molested a single child, Michael Ryder, who was one of the heroes in this story, he was the chief of the Palm Beach Police Department. He got very vociferous. He raised Cain. He said, and he went to the feds and they said, this is obvious malfeasance by this grand jury and you've got to do something about it. So the feds were going to get into it. They were going to arrest Jeffrey Epstein. Well, they were talking that there was going to be a grand jury, and then all of a sudden the grand jury was adjourned and there was this really unctuous deal made. And I've got the emails between the assistant U.S. attorney and one of Epstein's attorneys, Jay Lefkowitz, and Anne-Marie Villafana was the assistant U.S. attorney. And they're talking about how they can minimize Epstein's sentence. And then one of the emails says, and the deal that they made was so corrupt that they had to go to a special magistrate to sign off on it. And basically what that deal did is it exonerated everyone. It exonerated the procurers, it exonerated the perpetrators. Jeffrey Epstein had to plead guilty to a single count of child abuse. He was sentenced to 18 months in a county jail. He did 13, and he had his little wing of the jail decked out like the Taj Mahal. So, he could go out during the day. So he was molesting girls during the day while he was, supposedly doing.
He was doing
time.
like nights there.
Yeah, he only had to spend nights.
What?
What? Yeah.
Also, and this was 2008. He got arrested. He did serve time technically in 2008 for what, like 13 of the 18 months.
Yeah, like he did 13. But here's the deal with that. He
kept hanging out with all these people.
But here's the deal with that.
Yeah. BG was hanging out with him after
Bill
that.
Gates was still chilling.
Yeah.
The feds had a list of 32 Epstein victims. 32. And they did nothing with any of that. And according to Alexander Acosta, who is the U.S. attorney in the Southern District of Florida, he was told to back away from Epstein because Epstein was quote unquote intelligence. So, and to the kind of power that is required to get a U.S. attorney to stand down can be done by 2 people. It can be done by the attorney general. It can be done by the president. Damn. So that's how high the strings were pulled. Same with Franklin. The strings were pulled at the very apex of power.
Jesus, man. That's terrifying. That's fucking terrifying.
It doesn't speak well of our society.
Yeah, I want to see you on Good Morning America. I mean,
yeah. But I don't know, isn't it just, they're just clearly intelligence? Like there's no real debate here anymore, right?
Well, it's kind of interesting.
How else could this be done?
New York Magazine conscripted 6 quote unquote experts on Epstein. And I was one of them. And I cut my teeth with Epstein in 2012, and I acquired his black book in 2012. And I tried to sell an article about his black book, and nobody in the mainstream media wanted to touch it. Finally, Gawker touched it, and then we put his black book up on the internet along with a bunch of his...
With all the names and stuff?
What was in the black book?
The names went to Mount Olympus.
Yeah.
in the black book. He had like 22 contact numbers for Clinton and 17 contact numbers for.
Why would they keep a book? I don't understand why they would keep a record of that.
Probably so you don't get killed in prison.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
It's, people like that are very arrogant and they think that they can get away with
True,
everything.
yeah.
I mean, they've had Jeffrey Epstein had been trafficking children probably since 1995, and actually he was the first time he was reported was 1996 to the FBI, and nothing happened. So he thought that he could do anything he wanted.
Yeah.
And the one thing that was interesting, the guy who got the black book, who took it out of there, who took it out of Epstein's possession, I think he got 18 months in jail. He got the same punishment as Epstein did
For moving the book?
Except he had to go
hooking
to
up with kids.
except he had to go to a real prison, a federal prison.
federal prison.
What?
It's
The guy who stole the black book. Yeah,
And
I'll
Alfred-
let him tell it.
Alfredo Rodriguez purloined. He was Epstein's house manager and purloined the book, and it ultimately, and then he tried to sell it to a lawyer that was launching civil suits at Epstein because he was representing these underage victims, and it's pretty interesting. So Alfredo Rodriguez approached the lawyer. The lawyer went to the FBI. The FBI did a sting and got the black book. And then that's kind of how I got the black book. Can't really give
Sure.
out the source, but Alfredo Rodriguez circled the names of people that he felt were part of Epstein's network. And there's a lot of names that are circled. And it's kind of interesting. Virginia Giuffre, who was one of Epstein's victims, has named a number of the same people in her lawsuit
really?
documentation.
Who were
Yeah.
some of those people? If you think of anything
She
off the top
named
of your head?
Ehud Barak, Alan Dershowitz, and both of them are circled. Prince
Henry, right?
Prince Andrew,
Andrew.
he's got multiple
Oh, yeah.
contacts, but I don't think his name was circled. Let me see. A couple of former mayor or governors of New Mexico, Bruce King and Bill Richardson, were circled. And the thing about Richardson, he was also Clinton's energy czar. So, and then a number of big time financiers were circled too. So it was like with the Franklin scandal, it was the cream of the crop of our society.
Jesus.
Unfortunately, the upper crust is a bunch of dough held together by crumbs, or a bunch of crumbs held together by dough.
Yeah.
I got that one.
So there's a link been, I guess so. The link's been made between the CIA or like, does anyone even know what they do besides like doing like sex traps? Like what else is, why are they doing that? I mean, obviously to like trap people up, but like,
Power.
yeah,
It's all about power.
yeah.
And the CIA started with a mandate when Harry Truman originally started the CIA. It was a precarious time. Joseph Stalin had the hydrogen bomb. And Joseph Stalin was someone who had zero appreciation of humanity. But what happened there was the CIA started its own funding mechanisms, and then also the honey traps, because they felt it was too important, that fighting communism was too important to be left to politicians. So that's where this really dark part of the CIA comes in.
Yeah.
Is the various types of schemes to make money, and then also the honey traps.
Yeah. Did you talk about William Colby at all?
In the Franklin scandal, I do talk about William Colby.
Who's William Colby?
He was
director, I think.
He was the former director of the CIA, and actually there was in the Church hearing there was a senator named Frank Church in 1977 who wanted to blow the lid open on a lot of the CIA's nefarious activities, and he did a lot. And there were two. William Colby was called, and Dick Helms was called. Richard Helms. Richard Helms was the then director of the CIA, and Colby had been the former director of the CIA. And Colby really showed people how nefarious the CIA was some of the stuff that it was doing. But Helms kept his mouth shut. And what's interesting with Colby is he was actually conscripted. The Franklin Committee, what happened when Lawrence King was busted embezzling $40 million and wasn't charged with a single count of child abuse, there was a Franklin Committee that formed that was part of, it was the Nebraska Senate. It was a subcommittee of the Nebraska Senate. And they had a very good investigator. His name was Gary Caradori. And a lot of the evidence that I have comes from Gary Caradori, like the list of the 60 victims that I had. That came from Gary Caradori. The flight receipts that I got, that came from Gary Caradori. All this was put into a grand jury and sealed, but a lot of he was an amazing investigator. And his plane, what happened, the FBI was hunting for him. I mean, here was the hunter became the prey, because he was finding victims and he was finding all kinds of stuff that was corroborating these kids. And these kids were coming forward and being videotaped. And if the dominoes had started to fall in Nebraska, they would have fallen all the way to Washington, D.C. So it had to be covered up at all costs. And Gary Caradori realized that the FBI was trying to put him away for scripting what these kids were saying. I mean, it was, none of the kids said that, but the FBI was, what the FBI did in Nebraska was very, very nefarious. Threatening perpetrators, threatening victims. So what Caradori realized that he needed blackmail pictures, that was going to be absolute proof what was going on. And he got a hold of a blackmail photographer named Rusty Nelson. And they met in Chicago. And I've got 5 corroborations on this, that Rusty gave him pictures in Chicago. And Gary Caradori was flying back to Nebraska, and his plane blew up in midair. And then that was pretty much, and then the grand juries came out, shortly thereafter and said that there was no child abuse. And there's that Chinese proverb, kill one man, silence 1,000. Well, with this case, it was kill one man and his son and silence, 10,000, because nobody was willing to come forward after that, especially after the state and the feds had said that there was no child abuse. But the Franklin subcommittee hired William Colby to look into the death of Gary Caradori. And he didn't say that Gary Caradori had been assassinated publicly, but he did tell people that were affiliated with the committee that Gary Caradori had definitely been assassinated.
Damn.
So, and there were a lot of other suspicious deaths in the Franklin scandal. I mean, every chapter there's a strange death or two. Pseudo suicides and things like that. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man, that's nuts. And the Rusty guy, that's the guy you were driving with and got pulled over with?
Yes, I was. I myself was looking for blackmail pictures, and which I don't know if that was very prudent, but I was. And Rusty said that he had some. Now, Rusty is a guy that he takes blackmail pictures of adults and children engaged in sexual
How do you get into that?
I guess.
Yeah. How do you get into it?
Water rises to its own level, I guess. I mean, it's like, so, I relationship would be too strong, but I forged kind of an alliance with Rusty because he was having a lot of problems with legal problems. And I said that I would help pay for his legal bills. All he had to do was provide me with blackmail pictures, which he said he had. So he took me on a wild goose chase to get blackmail pictures, and we didn't get any. And then I was driving him home on this desolate highway, and we got pulled over. And I started the Franklin scandal out with this is the cops, I show the cops my ID, and he doesn't even look at it. He says, get out of the car. And then he deposits me in his car, and then and then he runs me through and I'm clean, but then he runs Rusty Nelson through, and then there's a lot of numbers after him, and I'm sure that they weren't nice numbers. So they take Rusty out and then they rip apart the car that I rented, and all they found was my ginseng root. So that was about it. But Rusty gave me a lot of insight. I would never use Rusty as a sole source, but Rusty gave me a lot of insight because one day I asked him, how does this work? And he said, it's like you're on a yacht and it's a beautiful day and you can have anything you want on this yacht. But if you decide to get off the yacht, the people on the yacht are going to make sure that you drown. So once you are compromised, there's zero motivation to come forward. And it's very interesting. I wrote about, in Confessions of a DC Madam, I picked out some politicians who had been obviously compromised. One was Larry Craig. And Larry Craig was a very conservative representative and then senator. And he was in Washington, D.C. for 25 years. And he had the worst record of voting against gay rights, I believe, in the Senate, if not the worst, certainly up there. But he was getting gay escorts from Henry Vincent, who ran an escort service. Henry was the guy who I wrote the book with, Confessions of a D.C. Madam. So Craig was getting escorts from Henry, and then he was getting escorts from elsewhere because Kirby Dick's film, Outrage, talks about Craig getting escorts elsewhere. And then Craig was busted in an airport bathroom in Minneapolis trying to pick up a vice squad cop. So here's a U.S. senator. U.S. senator trying to pick up someone in a bathroom. I mean, a U.S. So how hard would it be to compromise that guy?
Yeah, true.
I mean, a kid doing an
project
after-school project with a smartphone could compromise Larry Craig.
So wait, he was in an airport?
Easily.
He was in an airport.
His flight get delayed. He was like, you know what?
It's kind of interesting.
The old foot tap in the bathroom.
Yeah, it was the foot tap because I'm from Minneapolis and I've been to that airport innumerable times, and I was going to the bathroom once in one of the stalls, and somebody next to me was slapping his foot on the ground, and I was thinking to myself, poor guy, he's got to have like a neurological disorder or something.
You wanted to play.
Yeah, he saw your shoes.
Now, an interesting guy is...
Thought you were fair game. I would have been pissed.
And this is kind of interesting. Dennis Hastert he was the Speaker of the House for 7 years, from, I believe, 1999 to 2006. And he was a strong arm specialist, but he was a pedophile. He had been molesting kids going back 4 years. And there was a whistleblower named Sibel Edmonds who talked about Hastert because the FBI knew about Hastert going to a house of ill repute while he was Speaker of the House, a town in Chicago. So the FBI knew that Hastert was a pedophile, or chances are they knew that he was a pedophile. And for some inexplicable reason, they took him down. I don't know why the feds took him down, and he had to do some time. The only thing that I can think of is he was getting too greedy, and he was told to back off because he had a lobbying business that just exploded exponentially, especially with Turkey. So we don't really know the exact mechanisms of what he did to be taken down, but it was very strange, that whole thing. And then everything was sealed and there was gag orders. So I was really looking very hard into Hastert, but I just couldn't get any information at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the thing you're saying about the guys getting on to like the special crews. If you're like a rising star politically, you're probably feeling pretty good. You're like, I'm the man. I'm making money now. All this stuff. And then someone's like, hey, come hang with the big boys. You smoke a joint with them. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Like a girl comes out and like, yeah, by the way, she was 15.
Yeah, you get done
fucked.
and they're like, yeah, she was 16.
Yeah.
It's like,
we own you now.
damn.
Yeah, I mean, it's that easy.
Yeah.
And when you think about like our politicians, they've got a potent psychological alchemy of power, lust, and arrogance. And nothing makes people stupid like arrogance and lust.
Yeah.
I mean, really smart people do unbelievably stupid
Why are you
things
pointing to me?
because of arrogance and lust. So,
Arrogance and lust.
Yeah, that's
And-
nuts. And if you don't play ball, they can probably just block you out altogether anyway. If you're like, no, that stuff's not for me, they're like, all right,
Yeah,
well,
I
this
think-
guy's gonna lose. Fuck him.
Yeah.
but I've been in this realm for 20 years now.
Mhm.
And what Americans don't understand is that many of our politicians are compromised.
Mhm.
And take Epstein for an instance. With Epstein, he was blackmailing some of the most powerful men in the world. He had hidden cameras. When the Palm Beach Police Department searched his home in Palm Beach, they found hidden cameras. He had hidden cameras in his New York residence that Maria Farmer talked about, where multiple men were looking at the monitors. And his island was also wired for audiovisual blackmail. So so he was blackmailing people. And what people don't understand is a guy like Jeffrey Epstein, a guy who he's from a blue collar family in Coney Island. He's a college dropout. A guy like that cannot blackmail some of the most powerful men in the world because they have access. A lot of them have access to thugs and organized crime. Like Les Wexner is heavily enmeshed in organized crime.
Who's
And
that?
He was the billionaire. He owned Victoria's Secret. He was the billionaire that gave Jeffrey Epstein millions of
Oh,
dollars.
right, yeah.
And if Epstein was in fact
He
black,
owned Victoria's Secret and he still had to go to the pedophile parties.
it's
It's like, bro, you have it.
I mean, your
Well,
store, just the mannequins
I would
alone,
just
that's
whack
enough
off
for
in
me.
the mall.
Yeah,
I'd be like, let me in the
Just
mall at night.
Yeah, just the mannequins alone.
I mean, he's a old, frightening, scary looking dude.
What?
I mean, if I was a young woman and he showed up, I mean, I'd split. But anyway,
Yeah.
so there's no way that Epstein could have been blackmailing these people by himself.
Right.
There was obviously a large organization behind him that said to these people that were blackmailed, and Spence said the same thing with the Franklin scandal. If you come after this guy, there's going to be huge retribution. And that's what kept, I believe, Jeffrey Epstein alive.
How
makes sense.
many types of those organizations do you think are running? Because I mean, they caught Epstein,
Yeah.
but how many of those do you think? Like, I mean, that has to be a pretty consistent.
Yes, I think that networks like that are ubiquitous in the United States of America. Because of the writing that I've done the last 20 years, a lot of people have talked to me about these networks, and they want me to investigate them. And I'm only one guy,
Yeah,
so I tell them, I don't know if I can really help, because you can tell when you see major judicial malfeasance. That can be an indication that there's a network there.
Oh, yeah.
it was. So yeah, what I was talking earlier, like in central Pennsylvania, there was the Penn State, the
Yes,
Jerry Sandusky
right.
thing. There was I think a district attorney that was looking into the case years before, and he vanished.
Yes,
I mean,
he
there's
was.
yeah.
He was found. He vanished. His car was found by, I think, a lake,
The river. I think the Susquehanna River.
And I did talk to a prosecutor under him, and she believed that Jerry Sandusky was part of a pedophile network. She really believed that, and she believed that prosecutor had also been murdered too.
It sounded like,
Jesus.
yeah, I mean, it sounded like it because it was from the Second Mile Foundation, which was a lot like Boys Town.
Yes,
It was for troubled kids.
Yeah.
Jerry Sandusky was doing this, but then it is a weird story. I was at the first game Joe Paterno didn't coach,
Mhm.
so it was the week after that story broke.
You went to that game?
I went to that game. I was pretty excited about it, but we were supposed to go. I went to a Second Mile dinner.
What?
A dude that was high up at Merrill Lynch, I think,
Uh-huh.
or one of those, Goldman Sachs.
Yeah.
We went to his house. He was a Penn State alumni. I don't want to besmirch him because he might not have been a pedophile.
Oh, yeah.
But it was supposed to be a Second Mile dinner with like Joe Paterno, Sandusky, like all these guys.
What?
And then I was walking around his giant mansion. It's just a picture of him with every single president, all these things.
Really?
I don't know. It's just like you can see the political power these dudes have.
Yeah.
They have that power. And then the one guy who's friends with all them is doing exactly what they were doing in the Franklin scandal, which is getting kids out of a orphanage type situation and banging them. He was
a lower socioeconomic. Lower socioeconomic.
Give them the work.
Yeah.
Predators know how to prey.
And then a district attorney just vanished. Was it a district attorney who
Yeah,
vanished?
I can't think of his name, but yes.
They found his laptop and the hard drive was taken out of it.
I mean, dude.
Like it was like, yeah.
That was there's indications that was a network. But I pursued that for quite some time, I got pretty close to somebody who could help corroborate it, but I couldn't nail it. So, and that's the thing, investigations like this, like the Franklin scandal, it took 7 years to investigate that. And I've been investigating Epstein since 2012. I'm ready to write a really good book on Epstein. I'm finishing up one book, and I'd like to write because so many of
keep that quiet until it's out.
So many of the books on Epstein have been Epstein light, like Filthy Rich on Netflix.
Yeah, that Netflix show was like terrible. I turned it off.
Was it really? I didn't even watch
Dude, they
it.
don't even come close.
Really?
They do the same thing with Sandusky, where they're like, "Yeah, it was just one guy. We got him." It's like, no.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I never thought about the grand jury thing before. That is kind of an indicator. Be like, well, let's do like a special trial for this guy. It's like, I didn't even know what those things were, to be honest. I thought that was like, ooh, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Americans have no idea about grand juries and how easy they are to corrupt. So it's unfortunate that so many Americans are unaware of so many things about their judiciary.
It's also, it's like the same reason people weren't taking your articles. It's like people don't want to, like, they don't want to know.
Yeah.
Like if I told this to my dad, he'd be like, "What?
Yeah, shut
up." Like he'd be like, "I don't want to even think about this."
Yeah, or like there's creeps out there.
Yeah,
but
there's only one member of my family that reads anything I write. So
people don't want.
I mean, but if you want to be an ostrich and stick your head in the sand, I mean, the evil is only going to get larger and larger and larger. I mean, and that's the problem. As I said earlier, a huge problem has been the media. The media was into digging up salacious dirt, and that was it. No one called for any kind of justice. The New York Times did an article that named 6 procurers, aka pimps, and the only one that's been indicted is Maxwell.
Yeah.
So if Epstein was an actual trial, if there was jurisprudence that wasn't corrupted, those procurers, and we know more than 6, but you could start with those 6 procurers would be indicted on multiple counts of child trafficking. A count of child trafficking is anywhere from 15 years to life. So you could rack up, they could all be looking at 1,000 years or whatever, and then you'd get them to flip on the perps. I mean, that's how the mafia was taken down.
Yeah.
You get the lower people on the lower echelon to flip on the higher echelon and reduce their sentences. But there's been none of that. Ghislaine Maxwell is, and the Ghislaine Maxwell trial was such a travesty of justice. The girls or women now who really knew a lot about the network and who were molested by some very powerful people, none of them were called. It was just the only victims that were called, and I think it was only 4, were molested by just Epstein and Maxwell.
Has Maxwell been sentenced to anything yet?
No, she has not been sentenced, and there's that judicial problem of one of the jurors saying that he'd been molested, and Maxwell, I don't know how that's winding right now, but the whole thing, everything about Epstein, there's nothing rational about it. Nothing makes sense. Laws of the land have just been thrown in the toilet and flushed.
How did you feel when he committed suicide allegedly? Did you know that was coming, or because it seemed like everyone was like they're gonna kill him, and then one day the cameras didn't work and the guards took a break.
Well, the guards took a break. The cameras didn't work. I mean, it's
probably when you fix the cameras.
True.
Like, damn, the camera's broke. Oh, damn it.
It's certainly very suspicious.
Yeah.
I don't think there's ever been more of a clear somebody killed him case.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a guy in prison that the whole world was saying they're going to kill him.
Oh,
and then one day, I mean, they knew, the guards knew this guy's a risk. And then one day, again, the cameras didn't work and the guards were taking a walk.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a lot of anomalies. His cellmate was taken out of the cell.
I didn't even know he had a cellmate.
Yeah, he had a cellmate.
What?
And
The guy got taken out of the cell and then he.
Yeah.
It's
So,
just crazy.
That must have been crazy. Like, what are you in here for? Like,
Yeah.
well, if you watch
And
it.
actually,
I tricked
his
Bill Clinton
cellmate
into
had
fucking
been
a
a-
14-year-old.
His cellmate had been a multiple murderer at one point,
What?
a former police officer. And
Whoa.
they took him out. And what's kind of interesting, William Barr, our illustrious attorney general, who helped. Now, this is kind of interesting. This is where Franklin and Epstein connect. William Barr was Bush I's attorney general after Richard Thornburg ran for the Senate. And Barr helped cover up the Franklin scandal. And then Barr played an integral role in covering up the Epstein scandal.
Damn.
And Barr said when Epstein killed himself, heads are going to roll, and no heads rolled. And actually, the warden of that particular Metropolitan Correctional Facility in New York, she was given a cushy job in New Jersey. That she was
What?
Yeah, I mean, so
Thornburg, by the way, wasn't he Harrisburg's governor? Pennsylvania?
Thornburg was Pennsylvania.
Hey, that links
governor of
second mile.
Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Really? What
There's
about Ed Rendell?
Sandusky.
What about Ed Rendell?
He hasn't come up, but Thornburg definitely helped cover up
Spot.
the Franklin scandal.
Thornburg
And then-
helped that? Yeah, see?
and then Barr. And
What?
Then, and then Barr. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Thornburg is. I believe that Thornburg is a pretty dirty politician.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
What is
The guy whose house I was at, I was
Oh,
with.
is that what?
Nothing. This is getting too close. Now I'm part of the
Part of the
I
cabal.
know, I'm part of the thing now.
Damn.
Yeah, the reason I was there was the guy I was with he worked with Thornburg.
What?
And we were at a second mile.
Dude,
See, this is what happens when I listen to this.
you start
I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, you get it's unsettling.
Yeah.
It is weird though, because when you do boil it down to like you think about like little kids, it's just heartbreaking. But it's been politicized. The issue of sex trafficking, I would say, is kind of pursued more by people who lean to the right politically for some reason.
Well, actually, there's the feminist left and the religious right are equally against sex trafficking.
Yeah.
And they're strange, for lack of a better word, bedfellows.
Mhm.
But I've been very disappointed by the anti-trafficking community because they have not been vociferous at all about what's happened with Epstein. We know who a lot of the perps are. We know who a lot of the procurers are. There should be a lot of people in prison right now.
Yeah.
But and it's really heartbreaking for me. I've spoke. The National Center on Sexual Exploitation has like an anti-trafficking summit, and I've spoken there at the last couple of years, and I've seen them do very little to get this issue out. Most of the anti-trafficking organizations, unfortunately, have not been vociferous about this issue at all.
Yeah. So
And it's heartbreaking to me because when the government doesn't work and when the media doesn't work, you've got a lot of anti-trafficking organizations.
Mm-hmm.
They should band together. I mean, if you're against child trafficking, you're categorically against child trafficking.
yeah.
And here is an obvious case of child trafficking being covered up, and none of these organizations are getting making any noise about it, which is very difficult for me because I know some of the people involved in these organizations, and I just expected more from them. It was troubling.
Yeah, so with the media in general, how do you think, like, how much of this stuff do you think they know and cover up, or how much does this stuff just not come across their like desk, or like have they had any like specific roles and like kind of?
It's hard to say. I will say this, that I do believe that a lot of people in the media are compromised.
Yeah.
And I think people very high in the media. And I don't know if this is true anymore, but it would be close. 6 corporations own 90% of the media that's imbibed by Americans. And I got to hand it to the CIA or intelligence or whatever you want to call it. I mean, they don't compromise people they go right up to the top when they compromise somebody. So I don't know exactly I've got some suspicions about who's compromised and who's not, but I don't know exactly. But I will say this, that the way that the media reacted to this with just, as I said earlier, just kicking out Salacious Dirt, it just was, it was an embarrassment for me as a journalist to see them, the way that the media handled this.
See, it seems like all they ever do is post a picture of Trump with Maxwell or something.
Yeah.
They never look into anybody who's guilty of, or not guilty, but who's been named.
Yeah.
by
Virginia
victims.
Giuffre named a bunch of them, and her in a deposition, and her deposition was unsealed, and a number of the people that she named were circled by Alfredo Rodriguez in the Black Book. So there you've got double corroboration, and but none of them have been arrested. I don't even know if any of them have been questioned. I mean, it's
Prince Andrew got hit. He got but it's weird. It's like, it seemed like he settled with people, didn't he? Didn't he settle out of court?
yeah. I think I've heard 12 million, but I'm not exactly sure.
So, but he, that's kind of
I think his mommy came in.
his mommy came in. Oh my God, man.
That's embarrassing.
God,
You gotta wake your mom up in the middle of the night and be like, come on, you gotta stand in the doorway and go, Mom, can I lay with you for a little?
Mother,
I'm in trouble. Oh, what did you do, Andrew?
remember that cool island I was going
Remember I
to?
kept going to the cool parties with the other 12-year-olds?
Yeah, so he got. I mean, his apology, that one interview, he came on and was just like, "I'll admit, I let my flap down." That was his whole thing.
yeah.
Well, he also
Let me
said he
flap down.
didn't sweat too.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
really
yeah.
sweat.
That interview too. I mean, it really.
That's not
it
true.
really
I don't
showed
sweat.
how stupid he is.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't know. I think it might be too much royal inbreeding amongst
Yeah.
Europeans, but at that BBC interview, he really showed.
I mean, it's also, he's probably just so out of touch with talking
Oh,
to
yeah.
any normal people.
For sure.
Normally, I'm sure he spent his whole life saying, I don't sweat. And then everyone in the room went, oh, wow, that's really interesting. Not one person ever was like, what?
Well, the messaging's weird because they're like, I absolutely did not do that. I just apologized and let my side down. Also, here's $12 million. It's like, so wait,
Yeah,
what
which
did
one
you
is
do,
it?
dude? If someone's like, you molested kids, I'm like, no, I fucking didn't. Like, give us $12 million. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I didn't molest any fucking
I don't
kids.
have it.
Yeah, I'm not fucking, that's just the weirdest part to me when it's like, well, I absolutely did not, but I would apologize. It was a
Have
missight.
anybody else, Prince Andrew, but have any of these other people that have been named come out and talked about it, or been? Because anytime I see Bill Gates, although Bill Gates was never really
Bill,
named in those books, was he?
dude, he hung out
I
with
know
him
he
for
was.
the weekend.
No, I know
Oh,
he was
Black-
on like the
No,
flight
Bill
logs.
Gates wasn't. But I
Yeah.
think that according, as I said earlier, that Evening Standard article said that Gates and Epstein go back to the 1990s.
Yeesh.
That's
so
not great.
If that's true, I mean, I don't see how Bill Gates could not be compromised. And Bill Gates has shown libidinous behavior amongst his employees. So
Yeah.
Really?
yeah, and
That's a good way to put it, too. Libidinous behaviors.
so
Nerd
libidinous,
rage.
predatory.
Yeah, it's nerd rage.
So it's difficult to know. I mean, if Epstein and Gates go back that far, I do not see how Bill Gates could not be compromised. I
Well,
just don't
he hung out with him. He spent a weekend at his place post indictment.
after
The first
the-
indictment.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, my bad. That was an oversight on my half. I needed money from him.
Yeah, he's like, well, he's dead now.
I know that was his
All right.
that was his thing. He said, well, he's dead now. So yeah, I mean, it's hard for people to wrap their heads around, because it doesn't mean like every single person in the government's corrupt. It's just there are psychos that don't get stopped, and
I was there ever, because I remember after the Epstein suicide, wasn't there was somebody who did the autopsy that said this was conducive with hanging, or not hanging, self-hanging, but there was struggle.
Yeah, there's been a number of people that have come out. Julie Brown of Miami Herald, who wrote the series of articles that really outed Epstein. She's convinced that Epstein didn't kill himself.
But will there ever be an investigation?
There's never been any investigation with anything
yeah.
with
I don't know why
with
I'm sitting here
Epstein. I
like-
mean, there's, the last time there was an investigation, it was the Palm Beach Police Department in 2006. I mean, that was the last time. I mean, the feds, as I said earlier, the feds had a list of 32 victims, and they did not indict Epstein on one single count of child abuse. And it's very obvious that Epstein, everything that he did had been covered up. And as I said earlier, the first known reports of Epstein, of victims going to the FBI, were the Farmer sisters went to the FBI in 1996. So Epstein had been covered up all those years, which is, and like with the Franklin scandal was a huge network. It was bigger than Epstein's. Wasn't as was around about half as long as Epstein's, but it was much bigger than Epstein. According to federal and state authorities, not a single child had been abused. That there wasn't a network. I mean, it's, and that shows you. And then with the Epstein stuff, that, you know, all the stuff that went on, like the cover up in 1996, and then the feds covering it up with the 32 victims, it shows how much power had to be deployed to cover that up. And as I said earlier, the only two people that can tell a U.S. attorney to stand down are the attorney general and the president. So someone is, as I said earlier, someone is pulling strings at the apex of power to cover that type of.
So when the, whatchamacallit, when Lawrence King got busted, who was president then? That was
George Herbert Walker
that was
Bush.
And he said he was friends with Bush, right?
Yeah, he was friends with everybody.
Did he have, was there things about like the White House tours and like Bush having kids in his house or in the White House?
Well,
like 1 a.m.?
Craig Spence, who we talked about earlier, the sociopath that lived in Washington, D.C., he took kids and male prostitutes on midnight tours of the White House.
What?
Yes.
Just.
And
He's getting hot dogs and pizzas to the White House
Yeah, that's
from Chicago.
And that has been corroborated.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Male prostitutes going to the White House.
Yeah.
That's nice.
This is all bad.
And at least one underage
What the fuck?
victim.
One?
At least one. Yeah. So
Just hanging there? Or like, did they say like what? Like they were just like night out? Like you check this out? Or do they imply?
I think Spence just wanted to show some people how much power he had.
Jesus,
And, you know,
man.
After a night of partying or whatever they did, he said,
Yeah.
"Well, I'm going to take you guys on a tour of the White House." And
That's pretty awesome.
No, yeah, like wouldn't there be like the? I guess the
there
president
was
sleeps
no real ramifications.
Sometimes
and George H.W. was just in there
he has
just
nightcap.
sawing logs.
Yeah.
Little did he know.
You know, there's a little parade. That's a fucked up
That's
parade.
so fucking crazy.
And you know, the Washington Times broke that story, and the Washington Times also broke stories about Spence's home being wired for audiovisual blackmail.
Where? What being wired?
Spence's home being wired for audiovisual blackmail.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, and unfortunately, the Washington Times is owned by Reverend Moon of Unification Church fame. They've done some amazing reporting, but they're tainted. And then the Washington Post did everything it possibly could to cover up Spence's pedophile network.
Who owns the Washington Post?
isn't that
Well, at that
Bezos?
point, it was Catherine Graham.
Okay.
And now her
Now it's
son,
Bezos.
son owns the Washington Post.
Oh no,
Who's her son?
What's Bezos own?
I thought Bezos owned the Post.
He owns part of the Post.
Okay.
Yeah. And then before that, Warren Buffett had owned part of it.
Did you watch the show Succession?
I did.
What did you think about that in terms of like, because that's pretty much what most of the show's about, how people can just completely spin the media narrative and kind of just move politicians to their pleasure.
I didn't think I was going to like it, but I kind of got into it.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Yeah.
It just shows. And that's in a very fictitious sense.
Sure.
But I think it, all art reflects reality. And I think that show really shows that the reality of how easy it is to cover things up and to get away with unbelievable malfeasance.
Yeah.
And how many death threats have you received?
Yeah.
Because
I've
midway
only-
through this podcast, I was like, oh, well, we're going to get killed. We're definitely going to get killed.
I've only had one. And now I've had some very strange stuff happen to me. But especially with my phones.
Really?
But I've only had one death threat. Yeah.
What was the threat? Like knock it off or like?
There was, so it's kind of interesting.
Stop being a party pooper. We're having fun.
Okay. So earlier I talked about living on an Indian guru's ashram, and someone who lived there, we maintained a friendship over
Sure.
the years. and he lived in Omaha. And my first trip to Omaha, I knew that something had gone down in Omaha, but I didn't think it was, big and malignant like it was. I didn't think that it was an interstate pedophile network. I didn't think that Boys Town was involved because Lawrence King was plundering Boys Town for underage victims. Jesus. I knew something had gone down. So I originally went to Omaha very skeptical. And I told my buddy, Dirk, I said, I hadn't seen him for, I hadn't seen him for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And I said, yeah, I want to go to Omaha. And he goes, well, why do you want to come to Omaha? And I said, well, I'm looking into this story. And, he was a little concerned about my mental health at that point.
Sure, yeah.
But so I stayed at his apartment, and then the Nebraska State Patrol started calling his apartment. This is 2002. I didn't even have a cell phone, and Nebraska State Patrol started calling his. Leaving messages on his answering machine.
Was this after you got pulled over with the Rusty guy or before?
This is long before.
Whoa.
This is 2 or 3 years before. So so there was a woman. I was sitting. Dirk was coming back from his work, and I was sitting watching the History Channel or something like that. And then I hear a knock on the door, and I go look through the hole, and it's this really freaky looking woman.
Ugh.
And she says, I've got a book for you. And okay, so by the time this happened, I'd interviewed a victim. I'd interviewed Rusty Nelson. I caught someone following me. I was like, DEFCON 4 at this point. And And my buddy Dirk was, he was getting, kind of uptight about it too, because I'd obviously kicked the hornet's nest. And so this woman said, I want to give you a book. And at this point, I did not want my fingerprints on that book, and I didn't want her fingerprints in my friend's apartment. Yeah. So I said, please leave. And she wouldn't leave. And I said, come on, just leave, and then, and
That's
then
scary.
And then I got her, and then she eventually left. And then my buddy Dirk came in with some groceries. We were going to cook dinner that night. And he goes, I saw this freaky woman. And I said, well, she's been, I've just been talking to her for about 5 or 10 minutes. And then, so Dirk is making dinner, and then she comes back. And then Dirk looks at her, I look at her, through the people. And I said, dude, we can't let her in this apartment. And we don't want her fingerprints in this apartment at all. We don't want her fingerprint on that book. So
what was the book? Could you say?
I didn't see it.
Say Cheese and Die by R.L. Stein.
So
Goosebumps.
It is very spooky.
Dude, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
So she decided to leave, but her parting shot was, you're in a great deal of danger. You're going to get killed.
What?
And now that really short-circuited not only me, but Dirk.
Yeah.
Dirk realized, this is real. And so we had a very nice dinner that night, but we didn't get a lot of sleep.
That was the part of the book that I was going to sleep, and then that story is told, and I was like, that's very scary.
That's scary.
Because I know the look of a crazy, like, looking through a peephole and seeing a lady out there like, Drew.
Yeah.
Like that type of.
They always stand like right up against the door.
Yeah,
I had a crazy lady knock on my door. I think she was just genuinely just a crazy lady. And I opened the door and her face was right there. I'm like, ah.
Yeah, very scary.
Well, at that point, I'd gotten very cautious. And like I said, I didn't want my fingerprints or Dirk's fingerprints. I didn't want. So
good call.
But yeah, in an investigation like that, you've got to kind of think about, like, before I went and tried to get pictures with Rusty, I made a video of myself, and I said, this is what I'm going to do. if I get busted for these pictures, I'm in pursuit of this story. If I don't come back, we obviously got the pictures. So,
what do you do with that? Do you just like give it to your friends? And be like, hey.
Yeah, I give it to my.
Okay,
what I did is all my interviews, I put them on CDs. I gave them to everybody.
Gotcha.
And then all the documentation that I had, it's in 3 different areas.
The scary part about it has got to be that they don't really care who knows. You know what I mean? Like the way they did with Epstein. I mean, they blew up that guy's plane.
Yeah.
They killed Epstein in front of the entire country.
Oh yeah.
Like it seems like they're really not worried about it. I think once they survive one news cycle, it's over. They're clear.
It's done. Yeah.
Yeah, I think with my situation, I was a freelance journalist, and I think that other journalists had looked into that and they'd put heat on them, and that was the end of it. And so they just thought that that'd kind of be the end of Nick Bryant. And I can remember I had a mentor. He's since died. He was a journalist, and we were walking through Washington Square Park, and I was looking up at the buildings for snipers. I left Nebraska very freaked out.
Yeah.
And we sat down, and he was a mentor of mine. He was a great guy. I loved him deeply. And he goes, if you don't want to pursue this, I'll still respect you. And I thought about it, I said, I think I have to pursue this. I mean, I know about it. I got to do what I can to get it out in the world. So
and it's an undeniable fact that a ton of kids are sex trafficked. It's like there's no this isn't like people like to lump this like, oh, this is all conspiracy stuff. It's like, well, there are kids getting sex trafficked. There's been big sex traffickers getting busted, and then it just goes away. So like you were saying, like the only people who can do that are 2 people. That's like clearly something's amiss. How do you get kids? Or what's like this might sound funny, what's like practical advice to like make sure your kids don't get caught up in this stuff? Because they're saying now with like the internet, they can kind of just contact kids online and like they look for kids who are like slightly disheveled.
Well, it's the thing. I mean, if a kid's from a lower socioeconomic background, a dysfunctional background, they're prime.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do
for predators. I mean, and predators really know how to prey. I mean, guys like Lawrence King and Craig Spence and Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, those guys are predators par excellence. They know how to get children, and they obviously really don't have any legal problems. So retribution. So they can get kids and molest them with impunity.
Jesus Christ, that was the thing I was watching today. Was just about this one guy would go to like football games and just go to like a high school football game. Just like he saw a girl with like an ankle monitor, and he's like, perfect. She's clearly
I guess if you just see a girl without a dad, or parents,
just
it's like perfect.
And Epstein was also buying children in Eastern Europe too.
Oh man!
So,
what didn't the Satanist group weren't they like breeding? Allegedly, they were like breeding kids for like the purpose of selling them. The Finders. There was like some.
The Finders were there was a telex about the Finders buying a kid.
Oh, okay.
In Hong Kong, and then there was also evidence that the Finders would respond to people that were looking for babysitters.
Oh
yeah, oddly enough, if you look up the Finders, because when I was reading the book, I started trying to look up. There's almost nothing.
There's a great article.
Awfully hard to find.
Elizabeth Voss, VOS, wrote a really good article on the Finders. It's the most. It's the best rendition of the Finders that anybody's ever come up with. Yeah. And I did find one of those kids, and I got to the grandmother. I found the grandmother, and then the grandmother had taken on the Finders to get the kid. And the Finders had really subjected her to, a terror, just a lot of terror. And but she's hung in there. She wanted her grandchild out of that cult. And I asked if the kid was only 17 at that time or 16, and I asked if she would mind if I interviewed the kid, and she said that she didn't want me to interview him.
Gotcha.
So I just backed off.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So we're getting close to time here.
Yeah.
How about you got a book coming out? You said in July.
I do. I've got a book
You want to talk
coming
about
out.
that at all?
It's called the Truth About Watergate: A Tale of Extraordinary Lies and Liars. And what you'll see in this book is that the Watergate cover story is almost purely fabrications, and Woodward and Bernstein are pathological liars. I've got them nailed in so many lies. I mean, they even lie. I mean, they lie about important things, but like Bernstein's talking about, he's going out to talk to someone and he's in this storm. And then on that particular day, there's no storm. I mean, they're lying about inconsequential things like that. I mean, they're just telling lies. And Bernstein said that he was ducking a subpoena and hung out in a theater where he was watching Deep Throat. Well, actually, Deep Throat wasn't even shown, during that period in Washington, D.C. So there's so many lies. And Deep Throat, Woodward's, sagacious source. I really show how that's kind of impossible. Mark Felt, who was outed as Deep Throat after he was very suffering from dementia and wasn't quite there. And I do think that Mark Felt gave Woodward some information, but Mark Felt was living in, he got fired from the FBI, and supposedly Felt would go by Woodward's apartment, and if the flower pot was out, then that meant that Woodward wanted to contact him, and Woodward would take all these cabs and they'd meet in Virginia. And it's kind of funny because the real critical information that Deep Throat gave Woodward is when after Felt got fired from the FBI. So he's driving in from Alexandria, Virginia every day, looking up at the patio. But here's the kicker: Woodward's apartment faced a courtyard. I mean, you could not to see Woodward's apartment, you had to get out of your car and then walk 50 feet and look straight up. So, I mean, that's just one of many things.
So the whole, just like as a summary, Watergate was like, what was the thing you think they were covering up?
Watergate was, it was a silent coup. People, now Nixon, I don't dispute that the dude had some major psychiatric issues.
Sure.
But what Nixon was trying to do is he was opening up China for called rapprochement, diplomatic, and then he was doing strategic arm limitations with the Russians. He wanted to really scale back on nuclear weapons. And what happened there is, like, the jingos in the military and also in the CIA really, and Nixon was conducting these negotiations with a top secret communication system that the Navy had. It was called SD-1. So initially, the Joint Chiefs of Staff had an espionage ring against Nixon, and then the administration outed them, and then but then the CIA started to infiltrate his administration, the inner sanctums, because all those burglars that were busted at the Watergate, except for G. Gordon Liddy, well, he wasn't actually busted at the Watergate, but he was busted later on. They were all CIA.
Oh, fuck.
So, and Woodward has an extensive background in intelligence, and actually the special prosecutor that was able to get rid of Nixon, he has a background in a lot of connections to CIA. So
Gotcha.
the CIA was, wanted to get rid of Nixon, and it got it had some fortuitous things happen. And then, but Watergate was like a completely a botched job. I mean, those guys they were in the Watergate twice, and they should have been busted the first time, but the security guard was cognitively challenged. I mean, he just wasn't that bright. I mean, at one point, okay, so the
Forrest Gump told him.
yeah. I mean, no. Forrest Gump made this guy look like Einstein.
Really?
I mean,
no.
so the
Or was he deep undercover?
He could have been.
Could have been the ultimate deep throat.
the Democratic National Committee was on the 8th floor of the Watergate, and the Federal Reserve was on the 6th floor. Now, someone had burgled the Federal Reserve a month earlier, but at one point, and this is mind-boggling, McCord, who was a CIA guy forever, led the burglars, who were all CIA assets, up to the signed in and went to, and this is around midnight, and went to the Federal Reserve. I mean, I mean, and they could, and that security guard was too stupid to call the police.
Oh my
so
God.
they, I
So
mean,
they were like, we got to do it again.
yeah, so they had to do it. Yeah, so they had to do it again, and
That's the reason you're here, burglary.
yeah, I mean,
All right, go ahead.
when you read the book, it's
God,
kind of mind-boggling what happened, what really happened with
At
Watergate.
least Nixon got off easy compared to JFK.
True.
Well,
It's
I
kind of
think,
a nice. They toned it down a little. They were like, "We're just gonna fake a thing. You'll get impeached. It's better than getting your head blown off during a parade."
Definitely.
Well, the thing about that is there'd been so much blowback with Kennedy and the Warren Commission. Like a majority of the Americans didn't believe the Warren Commission. I mean, the media has had all these years to work on them and brainwash them, but 60% still don't think that Oswald acted alone. So I think, and then you had the death of Martin Luther King and Bobby Kennedy. So I think had you not had those previous assassinations, the CIA probably would have assassinated Nixon. But this way, it was
Gotcha.
it was a kinder, gentler.
It's almost like why
Way to go.
Maxwell's still alive.
Yeah.
You know,
she died
there's
too.
no way
All
they can
right.
do that again, just like that.
I hope
Yeah.
not.
It's like every other. I think they can do every other.
Yeah,
Like, all right, you
unless
live,
it's
you
the
die.
civil rights leaders, then it's
Oh, dude,
then they can do
they
every
iced,
single
yeah,
one.
they iced them pretty badly. Yeah, they had a nice little run of assassinations there for a while. And
Yeah,
I
they
guess
got
they
greedy.
got more sophisticated. Like, I guess we could just make up terrible shit about these guys. And
Yeah.
a little easier.
Well, I think that's it, Nick.
Yeah.
That was awesome,
Dude, thank you
That
so
was
much.
awesome. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And
Yeah, thanks for looking into all this stuff. It's pretty scary to do. You know,
yeah, you keep looking at it. What are you just trying to find the one
that
thing
crazy lady.
that'll get you?
I'd have been done, dude.
It's, I don't know. You know, it's once I was on this trajectory,
Mhm.
I wanted to see justice.
Yeah.
I've talked to so many victims. I've spoken at so many conferences. I've interacted with, so many victims. And I want to see them get justice if they possibly can.
Yeah, well, it's funny with the feminists, too, because they talk about the patriarchy. And like, all right, here's a bunch of powerful men abusing children. And they're like, that's a conspiracy theory. And it's like, no, isn't that like your whole philosophy for how the world works? Like, no, that's conspiracy theory. It's like, no, there they are.
Yeah,
Lock 'em
that's
up.
them. Here's their names.
Yeah, because it's kids, man. It's little kids. It's like, and it's definitely happening. And it's, it's fucked up.
Yeah, it's had the media had any integrity whatsoever,
Mm.
Washington, D.C. would have been filled with mobs demanding justice. There was a similar situation in Belgium, and a couple 100,000 Belgians hit the streets.
Really?
Yeah, this
Yeah.
was how long ago was that?
It was late 90s, I think.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
there was a joke in a movie I heard about. In the movie In Bruges.
Oh,
There
and
he is, and he makes a joke about Belgium. That's the only thing I've ever heard about the Belgian pedophile thing.
it was Marc Dutroux was the guy that got caught. And but yeah, that was at that point you had law enforcement coming out and saying this is a cover-up.
Yeah.
Kind of like
What?
with what happened with Palm Beach Police Department and Epstein.
Yeah, he blew the whistle on it pretty. Yeah, good for
Yeah.
him. And they still cover it up. Like, all right, next level.
I'm going to hit the bathroom.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
All right, well,
let's wrap it up.
thank
We're
you very
done.
much. And yes.
Yeah, thank you
goodbye.
so much.
All right, well, that was our interview with Nick Bryant.
Man.
And I don't know about you. I feel spooked, and I'm ready for this definitely to get taken down
For
and
sure.
all of our money to be taken.
Possibly.
They're going to kill me with the heart attack gun.
You think so?
Yeah. I've been talking about being fat and doing coke. They're
Yeah.
going to kill me with the heart attack gun.
The sonic wave.
You You're jumping off a building.
I think they'll let me eat true, or they'll just like MK Ultra me, let me go crazy.
Yeah.
That they might be. It might be good to keep me
It'd be
around.
pretty easy to get rid of us.
Oh, dude, piece of cake.
Dude, all the knowledge we just acquired.
Also, I almost get rid of myself just like walking my dogs and like listening to my headphones. I
I'm
almost get
probably-
hit by a car like once a month.
Yeah, I'm gonna let the CIA off the hook here. I'm probably gonna have a heart attack. It probably wasn't them.
Just be
if
patient.
I do commit suicide, that was probably me. Look, I'm not saying I'm suicidal, but if I ever do it, I was probably pretty sad.
There's a greater chance of me killing myself in the CIA. Yeah, I can
Yes.
see that.
All right. That whole fucking thing was brought to you by Manscaped.
Yeah,
Good call to start sponsoring
hey,
today,
are you trying to
Manscaped.
start a honey pot and you want
Hey, are you tired of your kids having pubes? All right.
Do you
I
want
don't
to
know if
rise to the highest of all levels, but don't want to grab underage girls? Grab a girl who's overage and shave her pubes with Manscaped.
Matt. All right. Today's podcast, we were brought to you. Look how giggly we are, dude.
I know.
Nick just left. Now we're all
We had to get all the
giggly,
giggles. We had to, dude. Me and Shane
Hold
are
on.
buttoned up.
Save it for the Patreon, bro.
True.
All right.
We should do this at the very beginning of the podcast.
Look. We're brought to you by Manscaped.
Yes.
This is the beginning? All
Yeah,
right,
the
fine.
beginning.
No.
This beginning.
The beginning stinks. You don't want to open with ads.
It'll be a good open.
All right, fine. This is the beginning.
And we
Get
got to do
ready.
one of those things like, hey guys, today we talked to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, all right. We can do that.
Yeah. But first,
They're known for
Pubes.
the best pube trimmer around, the Lawnmower 4.0.
whoa.
Talk about how hard, scary, painful trimming your pubes is and how using Manscaped helps.
I mean, if you cut your balls, they do bleed forever.
It is a real negative experience. And Manscaped did send us a fucking package that does
True.
both.
I smell good now.
I smell good. I've been using the body wash they sent.
Yep.
Wow, I smell good. And girls can't get enough of it. Underage girls at sex parties. Manscaped now has been a great line of products in the all-new Ultra Premium collection. Go to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code DRENCHED. It all starts with a cologne-infused Ultra Premium body wash. That's what I use to attract perfectly of-age women.
Exactly, dude.
Loaded with aloe vera and sea salt, keeps your skin feeling clean and moisturized all day.
For sure.
And a 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner that cleanses and nourishes in one step. Use it anywhere you got hair. Use it on your ass crack if you're a hairy wop.
Dude,
Matt?
Sorry.
And they've got aluminum-free deodorant. It dries clear. Have tattoos or dry skin? Hit your skin with the hydrating body moisturizer spray. Talk about a product they sent you that you like. I told you already I like the moisturizer.
Yeah.
So look, get 20% off free shipping with the code DRENCHED at manscaped.com. That's 20% off free shipping at Manscaped and use the code DRENCHED when you buy Ultra Premium Collection from manscaped.com. For real, though, they sent me that package and it is very nice. It's nice to have a nice ball trimmer. You know
Yeah.
which one I was using? One I stole from Phil a long
Really?
time ago, and I've used it ever since.
I use my wife.
I think it
Girls
was-
always have some weird shit like that. The nose hair trimmer, that came
Nose
right
hair
on
trimmer is
time.
nice.
Bro, I'll never like that. That's the only thing that can make me trim my nose hairs.
Yeah.
They sent me a nose hair trimmer. I was like, oh, nice. And I just
Yeah, it's a nice one.
got up in there. Dude, I was full Spyro the Dragon. I was like,
Yeah.
I had him coming out of every which way. So that was cool.
So that's our sponsor.
Yeah, trim your nose
Manscaped.
hairs, dude.
We were just kidding about the stuff up front, Manscaped.
Yeah.
Sean, you have a show coming out Friday. Is it Friday that you have a show, or is it Thursday?
Yeah, I have a show Friday
Oh,
at
nice.
Sesh Comedy.
Sesh Comedy.
It's called The Doghouse. Bees can't come anymore because he's doing Harrisburg with you.
Yeah.
But
There you
instead we have
go.
Column, so come see all of our friends in Column on my Instagram. And then The Stand on Wednesday.
Oh.
I have Drip. We got Nick Mullen on there, Shane Torres, our pal Andy Malfarina,
Yeah.
a bunch of
So
very
that's,
funny
that's
comedians.
Wednesday at the Stand.
That's Wednesday, April 6th at The Stand
Oh,
at
that's
7
gonna be a
p.m.
good show. You get to see the Muldog.
Yeah, please come. All the
Um,
stuff's on my Instagram, so that'd be
the-
nice. Thank you.
7th, 8th, and 9th, I'll be at the West Palm Beach Improv. Palm Beach.
Whoa.
Palm Beach Improv.
Mar-a-Lago.
The 14th, 15th, and 16th, I'll be at Good Nights in Raleigh. 22nd, 23rd, a little Nashville Comedy Festival. The 28th, 29th, and 30th, I'll be in Indianapolis, Helium. Here's the ones I got to get out because I haven't done a good job of advertising these. May 6th, Friday, May 6th, I'll be at the Academy 2 in Manchester, UK. Sunday, May 8th, I'll be at the Wardrobe in Leeds, United Kingdom. Monday, May 9th, I'll be in Glasgow at Oran Moor. Thursday, May 12th, I'll be in Dublin, Ireland at Liberty Hall. Early show sold out, not a big deal.
Nice.
Thursday, May 12th, there'll be a late show, also at Liberty Hall in Dublin. Friday, May 13th, this is confusing for a lot of people. Friday, May 13th, I'll be